I'm going so blind.
Well, g'day everybody, and welcome back to the Camera Life podcast. This is the Random Photography Show, and it is Monday, the 15th of June, and we've got a packed show for you tonight. We've also got a packed studio. We are joined by obviously Justin's here. G'day, Justin. Great to see you.
Good to be here. Good to be here, Greg.
Yeah, thanks for showing up. And of course, we're joined by Mr. Smith, Mr. Dennis Smith. G'day, Den. How are you?
I managed to get I was trying to do social media just then. It went well.
What's the deal with you? You looked like you couldn't see, but you took your glasses off to do the phone. What's the deal with that?
I have so many pairs of. I have these glasses here. See, they've got blue on them there. Mm-hmm. These are my studio glasses, so they work exactly this distance here.
Right.
But no other time. So I can read Bruce's comments when he says things about us, which is great.
So they're like manual focus glasses. You haven't got the autofocus models. You're still running an old.
I've been working on those. This is so it's like
okay, nice.
Autofocus glasses would rock.
They would rock.
Yeah.
Well, we've got an action-packed show for you tonight, folks, so please stick around. We've got a lot to cover off. We're going to cover some industry news. Sony Alpha turns 20, I think today or yesterday. DJI and Insta 360 at loggerheads in court over their competing almost identical products, and Dennis has got one to show us a bit later. And we're going to discuss tonight's topic, are we sick of big cameras? Because evidence in the photography industry, in the sales space for cameras, is showing that compacts are leading the charge, and as to our fixed lens cameras. So we're getting into that. Look, we've got more news to cover. We've got your images. Obviously, if you've been seeing any images, we're going to show those off, and I'm going to get a bit of an update from Dennis. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I've got some dog photography to show too. So
ooh, nice. Very cool. Dennis, it's time to do your ad read. Are you ready? Are you pumped for this?
I am.
He hasn't got his glasses on.
No, I'm really. Oh, that's a good point.
Where's his ad read glasses?
Are you ready?
Yeah. Give us your best.
When I think about my life, there was before Lucky Straps and after. Lucky Straps, comfortable leather camera straps with a modern quick release system that doesn't leave any dongles on the camera. Anti-theft features include a safety lock and a cut-resistant webbing. Our camera straps will keep your gear safe and ready to capture the shot when you don't have a second chance. Check them out at luckystraps.com. Use the code I'm small for no discount.
Don't use that code. Don't use that. Use code Greg.
What I want to say is it's Clem Fandango here. Can you hear me? It's Clem.
Can hear you, Clem.
Clem Fandango. Yeah, good. Anyway, thanks for having me.
That was
great
fun.
to have you. We're going to get an update from you soon.
Before we went live, we asked Dennis to do the ad read at the start of the show, and he graciously accepted and obviously just freestyled that. But it sounded like a news reporter, so it was beautiful. Thank you.
Nailed it.
We'll set checks in the mail.
Let's say good day to some people, Justin.
Yes. Oh, for the plumber Matt. He says, "Hi, Camera Life podcast. Late night at work, listening in. Well, if you're here very late, Matt, there'll be some little pictures of your pooch later on in the show. It was Matt's puppy was one of the puppies that we photographed, and it was a great dog.
Plumbing. Did you know that plumbing is the number one thing that will never be taken over by AI?
That, you know what? I wholeheartedly agree. And every now and then some knob on a podcast who's like an AI guy says that the plumbing will be one of the first things to be replaced when there's like robot workers, because they're like, oh, it's always the dirty job, the dirty, like repeatable hard work jobs that get replaced first. And I'm like, I don't think they understand. Yeah,
it's the art get replaced first.
I don't think they understand how complex plumbing on a 60-year-old randomly built home in some random suburb in Australia or the US or anywhere, how difficult it is to actually just manage that problem. Like, oh, there's tree roots growing. Just send the robot plumber in. It'll probably knock a hole in your wall and not be able to fix it and then charge you too much. Like a real plumber. No, I'm kidding. But like, no, but seriously, I agree. That's going to be one of the last jobs to ever have to worry about the AI revolution taking over.
I have said, to make your fortune in this world moving forward, you should become a plumber in an aged care facility. Aging population, they always need plumbing.
Always.
Yeah, that's true.
Always.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, and so we've got agreement in the chat. No chance AI completely replaces plumbers. Look, not in a future that we can even comprehend. Maybe in some weird new future where plumbing's not required and it somehow just vacuums the poop straight out of us and disperses it in the upper atmosphere. Maybe, but not with our current system of putting stuff into pipes and just hoping it goes where it's supposed to go. Never. Anyway, back to photography. Let's see who's in the chat. Philip Johnson, good evening. John Latimer, good evening, everyone. John. Still working away. So have you in the background. That's great. Felicity Johnson is here. Rodney Nicholson. Dennis Smith, the guy. That Dennis guy knows a thing or two about small. See what you did there.
Well, I covered that.
Lucinda Goodwin, good evening. Lucinda, send a photo in. It's been a little while. I was very excited when I saw an email. Nice. Thanks to everyone else that sent some photos in for tonight. It's probably too late to sneak one in if you missed out, but send one in for next week. Email it to me, justin@luckystraps.com.au, and we bring them up towards the tail end of every Monday night random photography show. David Skinner is here. Tin Type Man says, evening all. I had a great day of photography today doing landscapes with my 4x5 camera until I got home and realized that I'd loaded my 120 film backwards and had brilliantly exposed paper.
Oh, no. Such a rookie error too.
Well, I hope you still had a great day. You know, the journey is worth...
That's what they say.
But all the steps that he goes, Scott goes through to create an image that we take for granted by just, pointing and clicking. And he stumbled at the rookie error. Well, I bet you've learned your lesson, mate.
John Pickett. Who else? Philip O'Donnelly, 4240. I heard that Dennis bloke knows his way around a prawn or two.
I'll tell you who that egg is in a little bit.
Okay.
Right. Okay. He features in my wrap up today.
Oh, nice. Okay. Tweak Productions. Rick Nelson. Good to see you. Lisa Leach says, good evening, Greg, Dennis, and Justin. Technique FPV says, what's up, dromies? Good morning. Well, good morning to you, sir. I hope you've been flying your drone around. Who else? Bruce Moyles here. Roy Bixby. G'day. I like them big and cameras too.
Nice.
Who else is here? Parabellum Collectibles. Jason. Good to see you. That's about it. I think so. Oh, this person's nice. Look at this. Every now and then we get a Twitch comment.
Oh, yeah.
Because we do stream on Twitch as well. Yo, bro, I wanted to show you some real love for your stream because you've genuinely got crazy potential. Oh, and they can do some stuff for us. Wow, that's nice. They're going to help us grow.
Incredible.
Appreciate it. Tell me where to send my credit card details.
Crypto.
Nev Clark, good to see you. And everybody else. Phil Thompson, you're all great. Anyway, let's do this.
Full house. Full house.
Yeah, where are we going to start tonight? So should we, if anyone wants to chime in at any point with the topic of big and small cameras, feel free in the comments. Just send it. Or, call us. But will we get into that later in the show, Greg? Or what
we'll park that for a bit.
Okay.
Maybe we'll start off with a bit of an update from Dennis. See what he's been up to lately. How does that feel?
I'm keen as mustard. I've had a crazy. I got in about into the studio about 10 minutes ago. Hence, I just did not get to tidy up my thing. But I got in from the forest after midnight last night. So I was out in the forest last night getting ready for a workshop I'm doing up there in a little bit. And that was a beautiful night. Astro, light painting, good friends. But I was trying to think what to lay in here for as a bit of an update. But I have a lot going on at the moment. I think a lot of people know that I'm in this like quite aggressive transition period, going from commercial video and photography and into counseling, and trying to find that balance now between putting enough time into that business to get it up and running, combined with income, which basically for me means workshops, events, that sort of thing. And I've got a bunch of stuff coming up where really I'm at this kind of stage in my light painting career where people contact me, and like I've got an event coming up in a few weeks for a council where they've got this big festival of light, and they take me in and they give me a big room. And I just get to do 3 nights of light painting portraits. So I just sort of take it as a challenge, and I might have we might do 200 or 300 across those nights. But I set up a big projector, and it's all live. I use the live composite on the Olympus cameras so that the portraits are building live on a big screen in the room. So yeah, a lot of that sort of stuff. Yeah, I'm so bloody happy at the moment. It's ridiculous. Things are good. They're hard but good, and life is great. And I've prepared a little presentation tonight around small cameras and why they're great.
Nice.
But I have a cooking show. I don't know if a lot of people, every now and then I'll forget to change back from Aussie part Barbies. So I have a cooking show that my friend who left the comment before, Phil, he's a incredible baker. He has a 155-year-old bakery here in Port Adelaide. But he's also a great friend. And he came up with this idea that in this time when it's never been harder for families or friends to do cost-effective, fun things, we realized that there are literally thousands of free barbecues in some of the most beautiful locations. So we just shot episode 8, and we're shooting another 3 in the next couple of weeks. And we go to barbecues, free part barbecues, and we create these episodes, short form episodes, and Phil designs really cool, fun recipes. And we show people how to do that. So it's all about mental health. It's about getting outside. It's about connecting with community. It's about supporting local people. And there we go. And we haven't really started pushing it yet that hard, because I wanted to have 10 episodes under our belt. But we're getting sponsorship, so we're doing 3 episodes for a council. It got a big chunk of sponsorship.
Nice.
Yeah, and we're hoping to take it on the road. So we're going to go traveling. Phil is also a phenomenally talented photographer, and just a gorgeous guy. He's become a very close friend of mine, and we go out, and I do it all. 2, 3 cameras, sometimes 4 cameras. I do all the audio, all the stills, all the videos. So it's just the 2 of us. So that's, small cameras is really important with that stuff. But yeah, amongst many things, I also started shooting my Sala. I'm doing a massive exhibition in August. I'm creating a body of work with that. I started that this week.
What's that for? Sorry, Dan.
So Sala, it's South Australia's largest arts festival. So it's South Australian Living Artists, and I do to varying degrees every year. I do exhibitions, and an actual artist, a painter who I absolutely adore. I opened his exhibition last year. Actually, he asked me this year if I would do a collaborative one with him. So we're creatively combining painting and light painting and photography in a whole lot of really exciting different ways. I'm just cutting an ad for it tonight, but remarkable opportunity for me to really push another boundary. Like it's called Response. So I will create an image and he will respond to that with a painting in some of them. One of them, which we worked on this weekend, is I will give him a photograph, and it's all stuff in the Port Adelaide area. He creates a painting of it. It's 1.5 meters by 1.5 meters. And then I light paint his painting. So he's painting onto a material that light will go through. So I paint his painting with light. So he's responding to a picture of mine, and then I respond to his painting with light. It's extraordinary. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that sounds magical. Cool. Yeah, very cool.
It's utterly wild. And for me, it is just all I ever want to do is walk to the edge of the creative cliff and look over, and every now and then just dive in and take that risk. And sometimes the parachute opens, sometimes it doesn't. And in this instance, the parachute is opening hard and fast. It feels glorious as a body of work, and I get really excited when I think about it.
Oh, that's amazing. You never cease to amaze us, Denis, with the creative directions and like you said, being prepared to push the boundaries of your own creativity to see what is possible. And I think that's wonderful. I think there's a lot for others to take inspiration from.
Thank you.
What time of year is that? Will that?
So it's for the month of August. So yeah, the opening is on August 1, and then we have open studio every weekend. So people come in and we're creating work live. So you can come into the room, and it's that he transforms his house into a gallery.
Oh wow!
But I'll be running an HDMI cable from the camera as I create the work out to his big TV in his lounge, so people can see it being created live as well. It's a buzz.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
I'd have to try and make a road trip across there. I've been meaning to do it, and it's only 8 hours from Bendigo? It's not too bad.
That's nothing, mate. I mean, that shit giggles like drive across the country
when you don't have your helicopter.
I need
can
one.
Can we? If anyone's not already subscribe to Aussie Park Barbies, just head over and give it a quick subscribe. It's at Aussie Park Barbies on YouTube. If you type in Aussie Park Barbies on YouTube and search thing,
Instagram as well. The thing is, it's just fun. Whether you want to learn how to cook something on a barbecue, I tell you, you're going to have a giggle or two. Phil is a nut job, and we always have fun, and we always talk about where we are and what we're doing, and it's very early. We're still finding our feet, but it's feeling really, really good.
Let's just read out a couple of titles of these videos. Cooking a Greek feast on a park barbecue. Cooking spring lamb on a park barbecue.
We cooked a Christmas turkey.
Yeah.
I said, what is the most insane thing that you could possibly cook? And so we bought a 4-kilo Christmas turkey. We had to we set a brick on top of it to hold it down while it was cooking.
So
yeah, it was pretty funny.
It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to get some joy out of these videos. And learn how to make the most out of one of those park barbecues that most of us these days probably just walk past and think, I wonder who uses those. Yeah, you can use them, and you can cook a Christmas turkey. So
that is an ad read right there.
Yeah, damn right.
Damn right. Ad reads everywhere.
What else?
Well, should we jump into the news?
Yeah. Okay, let's do that.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about the news. As always, there's a lot going on in our industry. New cameras are being rumored. New lenses are being dropped. The amount of lenses that have been dropped this year already is just ridiculous from third party.
They didn't break.
Well, I hope so. And a lot of them coming out of China from new companies or old companies re-envisioning old lenses and all that sort of stuff. Speaking of lenses, let's talk about a little bit of lens news. What have we got? Samyang. Do you want to bring up the Samyang Sony lens? The first article, please, Jay.
What's the deal with this? Where is it? I'll bring it up. Because I saw Schneider. What's the deal with that? Schneider Chrome?
I think Schneider's another lens company, I thought.
Look at that. 28 to 135. That's crazy.
But yeah, so there's
There's two coming, or they're not sure which one it is.
They're not
'Cause I'd
sure.
Heard about, right. I'd heard about this 60 to 180, but I hadn't heard about the 28 to 135 yet.
Yeah. Maybe both. Who knows?
Maybe both.
But yeah, a couple of new. This is for FE mount. 28 to 135, constant f2.8, amazing kind of workhorse lens, all purpose. And then obviously a 60 to 180, for portraiture through to some relatively close sports, but still, again, constant f2.8. But this is expected to be dropped on the 25th of June, so in 10 days.
Okay. And then we'll know.
We'll get an
I wonder if they
announcement.
drop on both, or if they'll... Dennis, on a full frame camera, would you prefer a 60 to 180 or a 70 to 200, the conventional focal length of 7200, or would you prefer to get the extra 10 mil on the wide end but sacrifice the 20 mil on the long end, or would you not care?
No, to be honest, well, back when I used to use 7200 a lot, and I have a 70 to 200, and I use a lot in video as well. So I would go long. I would want it at the long end because we often have lots of primes or 2470s at that end. So I would always go for the length if it didn't affect weight.
Yeah.
A mate of mine has got the G Master 70 to 200 2.8 Sony lens. That thing weighs nothing. It's insane how lightweight it is. Have
you held the Canon one? Have you held it's about the same weight, but it goes down smaller?
I've got the 70 to 200 Canon lens. It's
the new one.
No, an EF one.
Yeah, so the RF Canon's about the same weight as the Sony's. Yeah, about the same. It's amazing what all the brands have been able to do with that workhorse type lens to reduce the weight by a heap.
It's amazing, incredible. And we're going to talk about weight a lot tonight.
We are.
Bruce Moyle's got two of the 70 to 200 Mark IIs. That's greedy, Bruce. Two of them.
Oh.
Gosh.
He's probably got three, but he's too embarrassed to say it.
Save some lenses for the rest of us.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So anyway, so the Samyang Schneider lens drops. A lot of this is coming from the back of the CP Plus show in Japan earlier this year, which we didn't get to go to because someone forgot to book tickets and accommodation. But there's a bunch of lenses that I discussed in an interview at that show. So yeah, if you're a Sony shooter and you're looking for some alternative lens options, then Samyang Schneider might have you covered.
I have a wild story. So I was in the forest last night, like I was saying, till very late. And the guy that
Any story that starts with "I was in a forest last night" is wild. You don't need to preface it.
Very late.
Very late. And the guy I was with is a Sony. Like he's probably the best astrophotographer that's ever lived. And
oh my gosh.
We're doing a workshop together. Anyway, he goes to me, check out this lens, and he just now has emailed me the photograph. It's a 6mm full frame lens, and he had this idea of tilting the camera onto its back, pointing straight up at the forest, and then I light paint around the camera in a circle, and he's just emailed it to me. It is insane how wide that thing is. It's got the light painting from down flat.
I mean,
Wow.
do you think
6 mil?
Do you think he'd mind if we just showed it on the show without him knowing that it's hey,
I'll
can we
email it
bring
to
you?
you.
Can we
I'll
bring?
email.
Do you think he'll care if we bring it up?
No, he's just sent it to me. He's given it. He's shared it with me. And the wild thing is that because he's an actual astrophotographer, he does like 9,673 image composites.
To get those.
And I said to him,
nebulas.
Yeah, and I said, dude, this has to be actual size, large send. It's on its way. And so this image I'm sending you is a single exposure, but it's so I had to keep the same distance away from the camera all the way around, and it took me I did it on the second attempt.
Nice.
Yeah, but 6mm is really wide. That blew
That's
me
crazy
away.
wide. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, and the quality is pretty insane.
What brand was the lens? Do you know?
Let me see if it comes up in the
EXIF.
It was lens 6. No.
All right, I've got it. I'll pull it up. Hang on, where are we?
This is it's important for you to know, whoever sees it. This is a single exposure, always.
Dennis, I'm getting a little bit of noise from your mic. Is there something that's like?
Oh, I've got my air conditioner on.
Oh, no, it's not that.
No, it feels like something's tapping it. Like,
yeah, it's almost like you've got a record player, but it's at the end of the record, and it's just doing that. It's like going around and around in circles, just going badunk, badunk, badunk. I don't know what it is.
Would you like me to?
No, I mean, it's no big deal. I think it's yours. Let me just.
I could change to my wanker mic.
No, you don't need to.
Okay, no. Okay.
Let me just like. Yeah, okay. It's definitely It is that. I don't know what it is. It's not the air conditioner, so don't stress.
Okay.
All right. Let's add. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Look at that.
How wild is that? Now I'll explain again for those of you looking at this that are not sure. So the camera is on its back, pointing straight up, and then he set the time at 30 seconds, so a 30-second exposure. I step back maybe 3 meters, and then I've got to gauge staying exactly 3 meters, or roughly do the swishy swirly zhuzh, and then stop at the same point. So what I did is I lined up. There's you can see at the top there's one of the trees is bright.
I was going to say, do you know where you stopped and started?
So what I did is I lined up the camera with that tree and started there, and then went round, and then when I saw it line up, I just stopped again.
That's cool.
Wild, hey.
That's incredible.
Should we zoom in a little and just see?
Let's see
if we can see Dennis's face or something.
That's a whole
it's not. I don't think we've got enough zoomy resolution. It must be a low. That's right. We can't enhance far enough.
Wild, hey.
It's so cool. It's such a great idea.
It is very, 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 very rare for me to see an image on the back of the camera where I just go psycho, and I swear I jumped about a meter off the ground. It takes something pretty special to blow me away, and I was floored when I saw that.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing frame.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep. Yeah,
for
really
sure.
cool.
You guys should be pretty proud of that.
Yep.
Collaborative art.
Amazing.
Yeah, well, this is it, right? See, because for me, it's like I say yes to everything. And Astro is hard. Like the images that I've sent you for tonight, they're an example of hard because I only ever do it in one exposure. It's hard because and so when people like Will, this guy that I'm out with, he goes, "Hey, do you want to try this?" I'm yes. You don't even get the is out, and I'm like yes. And because if you don't say yes to people with crazy ideas, you don't see crazy stuff. And we both stood there just blown away. And that's a collaboration of people taking risks, going out on a freezing night into the middle of the forest. Because we're doing a workshop, we're taking 12 people out, and we're going to have an Astro zone and a light painting zone in the forest. It's going to be gorgeous.
That's amazing.
That's a good idea too, because obviously one can interfere with the other. With a bit of light coming and you're trying to do Astro or whatever. So get them sort of separated far enough, but you can still. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Everyone's a fan. Tweak Production says that's cool. Phil Thompson says insane. Felicity Johnson says, "Oh wow, that is wild." Bruce Moyle, very cool. Tweak Production says yes. Use the wanker mic.
Sure.
Felicity Johnson says, "I was in the forest last night too, on our property, shooting the sky until the wee small hours. It was an amazing, clear and dark night."
Yeah.
And just to confirm for Parabellum
Yes.
collectibles, and that is on a 6mm lens.
Something like, I think it was 6, full frame. And it's tiny.
Yeah, wow. Love it. How good.
Yeah.
You saw it here first. We got a sneak preview. Look at that.
There you go.
That's incredible.
So
Where were we?
we were
News.
talking about lenses.
Yeah.
No 6mm. What else?
Just another little quick lens announcement. This is also for Sony. Viltrox apparently, although it'll probably, if it's Viltrox, it'll come to other mounts, but they're expected to announce tomorrow a brand new pancake lens. They dropped a teaser, no other information at this stage. So we don't know, we don't know its focal distance or anything like that. But speaking of small, pancake lenses can be amazing lenses, especially for everyday photography. So keep an eye out on that one. Indeed. Let's move along to camera news now. Let me just shut down some of these tabs. There's so many tabs open. Congratulations in order for Sony, who have just celebrated their 20th anniversary of Alpha cameras. Way back in 2006, the Sony Alpha 100 was an APS-C camera that was launched with a 10.2 megapixel APS-C CCD sensor. And even that camera had Sony's in-body image stabilization, which is steady shot inside. So yeah, that's where it all kicked off. And they entered the mirrorless market, not, before anyone else as well. Like, they were very, very quick to get in there. So yeah.
Would
20
they?
years.
No. Were they were the very first full frame mirrorless, but not the first crop sensor mirrorless?
I don't think so. No, I don't think it was Sony.
Don't know my camera history that well.
Yeah, I can't remember it.
We'll have to, maybe one day we'll do a history of cameras. Not all cameras. A history of mirrorless cameras. Let's start there.
It's a 7-hour episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
27-hour episode. All right. Well, the first one. Anything else exciting happening this week?
Yeah, there is. Insta360 have finally announced their new Lunar Ultra camera, which was co-engineered with Leica. And DJI is the first article I came across this morning about this. DJI is suing Insta360 for violating multiple Osmo Pocket patents, according to DJI. And then the next day, Insta360 is countersuing DJI for asserting 5 patent violations. Yeah. So there's been a tip for that going in the...
Look, I would probably put that in the category of, for both of them, without knowing exactly what happened, the pot calling the kettle black, probably. Yeah. I'm guessing both of them have done a lot of copying, and it's kind of, it is what it is. Let's bring this little camera up, because this is not really something that photographers really will care about. But it is very interesting. And so basically it's taken the Osmo Pocket, which has been one of the most popular video cameras of the last couple of years. I've got one. I think Dennis has got 15 of them. And it can allow almost anyone to shoot extremely, not high level, but like right up there. I mean, a professional can do high level, but I'm talking about almost anyone can do quite good video with it. It's very much like grab it, open the thing, point it at something, and you'll probably get decent work. Athletes and musicians and everybody are rocking around with them and making good videos because they're so stable. The image quality is quite good for something so small. It does fit in your pocket, or the Osmo does. This thing took it to the next level.
It's special.
Yeah, it's got a 3 times zoom. Yeah,
look, I didn't notice this until I saw a shield the other day, and you can remove the front of it. So you can have the camera off over there doing a thing, and you can be away from the camera controlling it. Now,
that's crazy.
So many. So when I put action cameras on the outside of my car, which is pretty regularly, you sit in the car with your phone controlling them and looking at them, and being able to do that with these is extraordinary. And to be able to zoom in, to be able to punch in, and it not be digital is just wonderful. Yep.
Let me give you some specs.
Yeah, do the specs, Greg, and then I've got something to say about that detachable screen. But yeah, do the specs.
So the new Lunar shoots 8K, up to 8K 30 action footage. It has 2 lenses, obviously, on that gimbal head, which is a 3-axis stabilization gimbal. It utilizes AI tracking. The dual lenses there's a 1-inch and a 1 and 1.3-inch CMOS sensor, one for each. It utilizes a triple AI chip, whatever the hell that means. It's got 47 gigabytes of internal storage and built-in Leica color profiles. And yeah, the 2-inch OLED touchscreen on the camera can actually be removed and function as a wireless remote control system.
Now, one of the cool things about it is when you punch in, it's seamless. So it doesn't go wide, hard cut tight. It merges them, and it's witchcraft.
Yeah. I think the downside of that is being aware that the quality is going to get worse and worse until you hit the 3 times zoom. So like as you zoom in, it's digital, getting worse and worse and worse. Then you hit 3 and it's going to be like, wow, night and day, much better. And then slowly get worse and worse and worse again. But it is cool that it can just seamlessly do it, and it's not just 1 or 3. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Now, if you were creating a video, like if you were creating a video with it, you would probably cut that anyway. But for a lot of people, being able to just do that, it's
for just random YouTube stuff or whatever, just general vlogging.
I mean, look, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to get into this. This isn't bad. I'm not sort of having a crack at Insta360 or whatever. I'm actually having a crack at all of our legacy camera brands. Why is it taking brands like Insta360 to come up with unique ideas like these detachable screen remotes and stuff like that? Like, why are we spending $3,000 to $12,000 on the best cameras that we can get our hands on, and then lenses? And no one is willing to have a swing at different ergonomics or different usability features like this. And I understand you can't just change shit on professionals. Like, the Canon 1 series, they really resist changing anything on that when it comes to ergonomics. They don't want pros that have been using the same bodies for 20 years to have to relearn something. But in our mid-range tier, in our $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 cameras, take a punt. Make a removable screen remote that just so the whole back just clips off the camera, and we can use that as a remote or something. Someone tries. Like, why can this thing, this Insta360, what's this one? The Ultra thing that I bought. Why can the camera module just pop out and I can use this as a remote screen for this? But none of my professional cameras can do that. And this was like $700 or whatever. And I know there's different levels of quality, but I think someone in the camera world needs to step up and start trying something. That's my opinion. What do you guys think?
I think you're bang on. I remember there was a time when people cared about my opinion, and I was lucky enough I was lucky enough to have the ear of the head of Olympus. So, and I was at the launch of a very special camera. This is quite some time ago in Sydney, and I was there, and he came and said hi, and with a few people looking over me, asked me what I thought. And I had one question, and it was this. I lifted a camera up. Oh, there we go. I just happened to have an Olympus camera on my thing because we're going to talk about small. And I said to him, explain to me in simple terms why I can't do this. If I, take ISO 400, 2.8, good. Like that. High shutter. Why can't I communicate with my camera? Yet I can with my phone. Like, this is an outrageously simple thing to do. And his response was fascinating. He said, yep, we would love to do that too. But it was all about licensing the software to do it. And I thought that was extraordinary. He said, there's patents around it, and it all became about patents and stuff like that. And it just seemed like rubbish to me. But that's the type of thing I think about too, Justin, is something like that. Like, it just seems extraordinary to me. Why can't I talk to my camera? Why do I have to turn a knob or a button? You know, but all of those things. But this is why some of the biggest YouTube channels that exist, I can name a half a dozen, are using these to film their entire channels. And they have little, you know, like I use all that Float 32 Magic DJI mics, but I use labs. But it's wild. We are at a point now where the camera companies are, I don't know what, I would love to know. I mean, although we're about to talk about how compacts, who would have thought 10 years ago, all the big camera retailers were saying point and shoots are dead. They're gone. They will never come back. Phones have killed them.
They stopped making them.
Yeah, and here we are. They're back. Like everyone's announcing new ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm with you, mate. I detachable. Yep, they are killing it. They are absolutely dominating.
It just seems like something that's like, hey, that wouldn't. I don't believe there's probably a whole lot of things I'm not thinking about that a camera brand would say, oh, that's hard because, but the screens already flip out basically off. You know, like it's almost there.
Yeah.
You just add a few buttons to that same part, so extend the flippy part so it's got some buttons on it, and then make it just come all the way off, and then you're done. Yeah. And some people might break them, so make spare ones. So you can just buy I broke my screen. Here's a new screen or whatever. But anyway.
It's fascinating.
Tin Type Man said DJI and Insta360 are stepping up, and that's why they own the vlogging market. Yeah, I know. But what about like regular cameras that are worth way more than these things are? Our cameras cost a lot more.
These things have not fundamentally changed in 20 years.
Yeah. No.
They haven't.
So, just quickly, Lucinda says, I'd hate 400 photographers in the photo pit all yelling at their settings more than they normally do.
Yeah,
that could be a problem.
You'd be at a gig with someone playing. I'd be like, fucking 400, you motherfucker!
I'd be running around past all my competitors going, shutter speed 10 seconds, shutter speed 10 seconds. And they're all like,
oh, no.
Okay.
We're going to, in the patent application, we're going to have the Lucinda clause, and that is like, you can turn this feature off and on.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. Yeah, she gets a 4.3% cut of all profits for that.
What else?
Well, it's interesting with the whole Insta360 announcement. Obviously, hot on the heels of that are these two announcements of clashing court cases or legal disputes over who actually came up with it first. You know. Yeah. Because obviously the Lunar is very much a copy of an Osmo Pocket, heavily influenced. There's no denying that. You know, it's got that basic form factor of a handle, a gimbal, and a camera head that pivots and follows and does all those sorts of things. And then there's all the little nuances between the different brands. And obviously Insta360's partnered with Leica on this one. So that's quite a bit of clout for them because Leica colors, as Justin and Dennis will attest to, are just glorious.
And they do that with a lot of their sort of premium. I think the Ace Pro 2's got the Leica stuff in there. Like a lot of them now are kind of, they're getting that from Leica. Yeah.
But it is an interesting concept that, you know, why aren't more of these brands, and maybe this is about camera brands protecting their proprietary color science, but why aren't more phones and action camera brands partnering with Canon, with Nikon, with Fujifilm to get their color profiles so they can at least tempt Canon photographers who run around with, you know, full frame mirrorlesses and big lenses to actually pick up one of these if it had Canon color science.
Well, that's interesting because so you could go after Canon or Sony if you wanted to sort of appeal to video, I think if you were like, hey, you know, Dennis shoots with, say, Canon, let's try and sell him action cameras. So let's make sure that we've got Canon color science in our action cameras, and then maybe Dennis will want to match everything up. But I think the problem is Canon and Nikon, and probably Sony too, have always looked at those as, hey, we might want to get in that market. So we're not gonna put our name on something that we might want to compete with. Whereas Leica aren't going to make action cameras and little pocket sticks. If they do, Leica would get Insta360 to make it, and they would put a Leica badge on it, charge triple, and just redo the, you know, like they've done with some products in the past. They redo the interface and the body and things like that, but the like guts of it is made by another company for some of those cheaper products. And that so for Leica it makes a lot of sense. For Canon, so you know who it would make a lot of sense for? Probably Fujifilm, because they're probably like, hey, we're not going to make an action camera, but everyone loves Fujifilm colors. We should partner with GoPro or something. Yeah. You know, like
I wonder this. Like I'm probably a good example here. I've prepared a little camera presentation here, but I shoot with very high end gear for my fancy stuff, right? But when I was in India, my last trip to India, and this is, are we talking about compact cameras yet? No, we're not. But like
we can though. We can.
This thing here, right? My Action 4, which is, you know, whatever GoPro. This thing captured, like I always have this on my hip. It lives in a tiny bag on my waist, and I just grab it out if I want to grab walking stuff, ambient stuff. And then when I'm capturing the beauty stuff, I pick up this. And then when I want to do a still, I pick up this. And they tend not to cross over. And I don't like a pocket or a Lunar would have to be remarkably better than my Sony A7S III insert, whatever pro video small body you're using. But I have shot some stuff on my Pocket 3 and this thing, the 360 cameras, where it's close, man. Like, but it depends on what you're doing, and they have very specific use cases, right? Now, my video work in India was all slow, all 100 frames a second, 422 10-bit. The color, you know, it needed to be cinematic. Yeah. Lots of control of depth of field is another big one that you just can't get on those action cameras. It's one or the other, right? Well, except for the GoPro One thing, which is fascinating. But yeah, I think they will always sit in different rooms. They will just get better and better. And so when I'm on an India trip and I need a Pocket 3 and I need an action camera, and they will all just get way better. I think there is a space around content creators where there isn't that crossover and it doesn't matter. And so it just becomes about size, right? And size matters in that thing. And so you put that dual camera Insta360 thing in someone's hand that has any sort of creative sense, they're going to make magic. They are going to create magic. Cheap, easy. The batteries last forever. I'll get one. I'll have one.
Yeah, that's it. They're in the right hands. They're a cinematic tool, and in not the wrong hands. Sorry, in more amateur hands, they're the simplest way to get great point and shoot footage. It's like they can be both, you know.
And I'm an advocate that the more people that are making good looking images, the better. That's the one. I think it's magical. We live in a great time.
We're very fortunate.
And you don't need big cameras.
No.
Yeah.
Greg, should we just go on to talk about these big and small little cameras, because there's a couple of things that are on the news that we could probably do next week if Like
Yeah,
that
sure.
the Apple thing I put on there. That's probably a bigger topic than than we've got time for tonight as well. It's actually kind of interesting. Apple have done some updates that aren't available yet, but will be coming to iPhones soon. We can talk about that next week.
Yeah, we'll cover that off next week.
Yeah, there's nothing
That's
else really that got.
No, not
what
really.
else? Nah.
Godox has dropped another mini flash. They seem to drop a new one each week.
Okay,
The only other article which we can cover next week is the one about barley.
yeah, that's not
just
that
leave that.
timely either.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about why size does or does not matter. So we're talking specifically about cameras. There's been a couple of articles that have been floating around, predominantly on Petapixel. For those of you that like Chris Nickel and Jordan Drake stuff, Chris Nichols, I think he dropped the article talking about.
It was about Chris. I think it was written by the other guy. Is it Jaron
was.
Schneider? Yeah, but it was sort of his
Jeremy something. No, anyway,
Jaron.
Yeah, I know
Someone.
who you mean.
Anyway, one of
It
those
is
guys.
Jaron.
They're
Sorry,
cool.
yeah.
They're all cool.
Yep.
But
So
yeah, it
the
was
article-
about Chris Nichols, I think.
Yeah, so the article is about, photographers are tired of big cameras, and it was about this kind of experience that Jaron had working with Chris whilst they were traveling, and Chris Nichols turned to Jaron and said, I'm thinking about buying another camera, and this is someone who is probably one of the most well-known faces in our industry in terms of content creation for photographers, and I promise I did not find this article on purpose, but he talked about how he's actually considering looking at the Fujifilm XE5, which is a camera that I picked up. This is a guy that has access to every camera on the market, pretty much. People are gagging to give him gear to review. And he's talking about how in the article, I'm not going to read it out, obviously, but he's talking about how that the image quality from smaller, APS-C or Micro Four Thirds cameras is good enough for most of the stuff we do, and how jumping to a smaller sensor, getting a more compact camera, more compact glass results in a better photography experience. And this is something that I've been talking about and writing about for quite a number of years now, about how you don't need to walk out the door with a bag full of glass. One camera, one lens, go out and have fun, and you'll feel lighter and you feel better for it, that sort of stuff. And so there's been a couple of articles that I've come across the last couple of days on this particular topic. And what's actually spurring this on as well is that there's been a significant shift in the industry in terms of how consumers are buying camera gear. So in the first 4 months of this year, compact and fixed lens cameras, so cameras that include a lens like your Ricoh GR, your Fujifilm X100s, what else? Your Sonys, your Leica Qs, with a built-in lens, they're actually taking up about 25% of all new camera sales at the moment.
That's wild.
So people are looking for smaller, more compact, just good quality cameras. And in the first 4 months of this year, the monthly sales numbers have been, up to 48% higher than this time last year.
Amazing.
For those particular cameras.
That's a good sign.
It's a great sign. And of course, what we're seeing is that brands, Fujifilm's been on it for a long time, obviously, because they've always put out smaller cameras, but brands are now scrambling to sort of get compact cameras back into the market. We saw a kind of the anniversary effort from Canon with the, what was it? The
G7X3
Mark
or something like
yep.
that. Now, and then the Wendy's edition come out.
And then the Wendy's edition one. But yeah, so people are looking for these sort of compact camera experiences. It reminds me of the conversations we've had, Justin, both on the show and outside of the show, talking about, getting a camera for Elena for when you guys go on holidays. She doesn't want to have to just pull out a phone every time. She wants something maybe just great. That's good. Something that takes good photos. And so you got the TG7, which proved to be, a lot of fun when you guys went away to Bali.
Waterproof down to 20 meters. Don't check the manual. It's only 15, but 20 anecdotally. And the image quality is great for what it is. And the fact that it's got a zoom lens and goes underwater and stuff, it's a crazy little camera. But it is kind of sad that and other that not as much, but from what I can tell, the only real meaningful update between the TG6 and the TG7 was going from micro USB to USB-C, basically. There was a few other things, but and that's the case with multiple of these compact cameras, these ones that have been, the series has been out for a while, because as Greg said, the manufacturers kind of put them on ice when the market said, we know phones are better. We're bored with these. Yeah. I'm either going to have a fancy camera or a phone. I'm not going to borrow, use a compact or whatever. And so manufacturers just put the whole product ranges off to the side.
Because that was a time of mobile phone or smartphone camera technology growth. That was when it was going through its boom period. We were jumping generations of iPhones. The image quality just was leaps and bounds better than the previous gen. Now we're seeing much smaller increments of improvement. It's more feature adding stuff.
I caught up with my ex-business partner, who we had a commercial video and photography business for 15 years that we recently shuttered, but we still catch up. And we had this conversation today about the conversation was about social media and the death, the quite rapid death of social media for photographers, right? And we were thinking that partly has something to do with this sort of resurgence of point and shoots and away from phones, is because this sort of requirement to be quickly getting stuff shot online kind of is kind of, because that is sort of is declining, that maybe this leaning back into photography as a practice on itself has helped to grow this desire to do it again, to get back into using point and shoots, because 5-6 years ago it was dead. They just weren't happening. I mean, most people know, but I'll say it again. I was an Olympus visionary for the longest time, and so I used to take immense joy in taking these things out. I had boxes of them out and proving in so many different ways that they were just as good as your big, giant, full frame things. And the reality is that they insert Olympus or Fuji. My friend Lottie, she is an astonishing photographer, but she has a Nikon Z6 thing with a sort of one of those amazing Tamron 30 to 180 crazy lenses. She recently got herself an XE5, I think, Greg, or like an interchangeable Fuji thing, because she's a walk around travel photographer and loves it. All the concerns she had about image quality, this and that, are gone because she doesn't have sore shoulders anymore. She's still, but I think for a lot of people, especially if you're doing a lot of walking around, it's just a comfort thing as well. I know for me, I have millions of stories of creating. I know this is video, but it's a similar thing. That there is my this was our staple. This is what we used to create video with, and now that there is look at the difference.
The size of the monitor is your entire new camera. Yeah.
And these things, this is the greatest video camera ever made in the history of our art form.
Is that A7S, the A7S III?
Yeah. And and so for me, when I'm traveling, that's it. The Leica and the Sony, and therein lies the most astonishing horsepower, image quality, processing power of all. And I think coming back to that compact thing allows, whether it's shooting professionally, which I'll walk onto a shoot. I'll walk onto a very high value commercial shoot with a Q3 and an A7, and no one questions it. Whereas back 10 years ago, people like Bruce would appreciate this paragraph. Is this meant something? You're a pro.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives you kudos when you walk onto set with something big. And stills cameras are the same, right? If you have the gear, you know what you're doing, and but what happens is we learn that's not true because the work is amazing. But another point, someone was talking about the OM cameras, the OM ones. I love these cameras. They are extraordinary. It's some of the best glass in the world. But here's a really interesting thing. That is a full frame camera. I want to make sure that this is they are the same size. This is
they're so close, aren't they? Isn't it? Yeah. I have often wondered that. Yeah, it's
full frame Sony.
Yeah.
And an OM1.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not doing the fishing thing. But, Bruce made a good point. Someone would say get a matte box. That's
to get respect, but not explain what you would use it for.
Wouldn't even know what it is. That's like when you see influencers with the little, with their Sonys and stuff, with all the boxes and the rigs and the cameras and all that. That is just such a wank. It is so unbelievably unnecessary for 93.6% of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of, and then there's the commercial guys that obviously have all that stuff that are sort of, but I do often wonder whether, there's a certain level of commercial work where I feel like you don't need to do all of that. For your local business kind of stuff, a lot of people will, if they've got all that gear, like I've seen people using anamorphic lenses and stuff like that for local stuff in Bendigo, and I'm like, they're probably doing it because they enjoy it, to be honest, rather than thinking the client will notice or whatever. They probably just enjoy.
I'm telling you this, I can walk to a job with a shoulder bag and have an A7R4, A7S3, my Leica Q3, my 360 camera, and if I want a pocket and an action camera and two lenses all in a shoulder bag, and I'm shooting shit. I'm shooting shit as good as anybody that you. Here comes Brucey.
Well, I had a missed call. Is it?
Bruce,
try again.
Yeah,
try again, Brucey. Try again.
I think I got it fired up.
He ghosted you.
Yeah, I reckon he.
No, it must have gone to message bank or something. I didn't get onto it fast enough. Is the system?
But no, look, I'm a real advocate for small and going out and having a go. Certainly when you get old.
It's interesting though. So many, we go to workshops and we go to events and we see people show up with these massive backpacks and they unsling them and they're carrying everything just in case, and they spend more time, handling heavy gear and juggling things than they do Brucey, actually creating. Oh, is Brucey there? Sorry.
Yeah, hold on, Bruce. No, I'm trying to get him. I'm trying to get him back on. Stay with us.
Well, I don't think I'm out of place in mentioning this, but Fuji have approached me to run the South Australia launch for.
I think we've got you.
You got me?
Yes. There? Hold on 1 second. We'll let Dennis finish his thought, but you're
finish
all connected
that. Really important you finish that.
Yeah, Dan. Go on, Dennis.
You were saying Fujifilm?
Yeah, they've asked me to launch a very nice camera here in South Australia, which means they'd send me pre-production stuff, and the reason they approached me with that stuff is because as quick as they are to send me the GFX stuff, I'll take these small compact cameras and go out and absolutely beat the shit out of them, and push them and then present them as a new product with that stuff, and there are so many people that just wouldn't even contemplate doing that because it's an A whatever the small sensor sizes. And I'm just so whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, Brucey, what do you got for us, mate? Come on.
Oh, just the amount of gear and stuff, and as talking about the matte box and things is ridiculous. But I think it's been an interesting case of the filmmaker, YouTuber, and then all the sponsorship stuff, and then people seeing a problem with somebody else's thing and then building it up, and then, I need to have that matte box, or I need that filter, or I need that bit of glass, because it's all the sales cycle and stuff like that. But I don't know how many have ever actually worked with a brand or anything where they're like a creative agency where you need to actually do that, and I find it really fascinating. And it's about finding gear to fix a problem which you don't have a lot of the time. Which I find really fascinating. Like the 32-bit float thing, like in the audio circle, became the, oh my God, this will fix every problem in the world. It doesn't. If you know how to use a mic, you don't need it. In some areas, it can be a great little save, but they also talk bullshit about it as well, because they go, oh, you'll never clip an audio thing. If you overpower that capsule, you'll clip it.
It's so funny you say that, because I've had a few clips in audio that I was really annoyed about because it ruined a take, and I was pissed off at myself that I got it wrong. You know, and I often thought about that 32-bit float thing, and it's on the mics I have now. I think have it if you use the inbuilt audio. The DJI Mic 2 have I got? I think so. And so so,
the Mic 2s have it.
Yeah. So, but I am so against the effort of having to use the inbuilt audio, drag that file off, and sync it up, that I have never used it, and I just am really, really careful with my levels because I don't want to have to use that audio because it's such a pain in the ass to get it off the little microphone and use it. So it's actually really funny. That you say that.
The worst thing about the DJI Mic 2s, and this is when people say, "Oh, do you get the Rode, or the DJI?" And I'm like, "Well, it depends on what you want to do. If you don't want to have to deal with your media being recorded and running out of space, get the Rodes, because it loops, so you can keep using it. Make sure you offload when you need to, but it's not going to ever run out of space." The DJI, you have to have a computer to clear it. So if you're out in the wild and you've forgotten to clear it, you're fucked.
Yeah, I never thought about that. I never even press that record button on the mic itself unless I'm like, wow, this is a one chance take, and I can't monitor it. But yeah,
I always use it because it's nice. It's always nice to have a safety.
Yeah, that's the. I have the new. I have the receiver, so that locks into the top of the Sonys. And that, and I monitor and set those levels. But like my cooking show that I was talking about before, I have a mic on. He has a mic on. Our guest has a mic on. I lav them. I have a shotgun on top of one of the cameras. Like, so many audio feeds coming in, and I can't monitor any of them because I'm also shooting two cameras. So having that as a safety is amazing. But I'm with you, Bruce. I think we're in this time where people just rely on it. They just think that there's some magical little, ants inside the box that are monitoring it for you. You still got to do the work.
No.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, right? Like, there's a lot of people who are not learning the fundamentals and using the shortcuts. And then when they get into a sticky situation, if they get a bigger client or whatever else, or in the big shoot and something goes pear-shaped, they don't have the experience because they haven't learned the fundamentals to actually get themselves out of that predicament. And it's saying like sort of stepping to the left or right here, the rigging up of cameras is like, I don't know, it's like a dick measuring competition in some spaces. They're just ridiculous. And you'll comment about it before, Dennis. Like, it just gets silly, but it's like you get to a point where you put so much on this camera, you might as well have gone and bought like a proper cinema camera.
That's a nice shot, Dennis. I probably can't see it. He's just.
I can't see it because I haven't got the.
Dennis just whipped out one of his rigged up cameras.
I just got out my fully rigged Blackmagic 6K and did some measuring. But you're so Bruce. That is such your point before that is so important for people to understand. Is just because you see 14 people on YouTube with a rigged a rigged out camera, it just does. 90% of them don't need it and probably don't use it.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk stills photography. Do you think that is an issue in stills photography in any way as well, where we might layer up with gear too quickly without learning how much or like each piece that we've purchased or whatever, all of a sudden we're using all these different things. but we got them too fast that we haven't learnt what each piece does.
I've
Potentially.
got a really good example of that.
Okay.
Yeah,
go on.
absolutely.
And anybody who gets into studio photography, like using strobes, because the rabbit hole is deep for mods and everything else. And some people like just get one and start experimenting and see if they get and some people will go to a workshop. Say, I know you had Peter Coulson on, and he's one person I learned from really early on. And you'd walk in and go, oh my God, this is so much cool gear. I want to be like that. I want all that gear. But unless you've never actually used it, you buy it and it sits there gathering dust. I've worked on different workshops over the years where people go, I bought this and I don't know how to use it. I went to a workshop and I didn't do anything more with it. So that's the one place I see it a lot. It's not as obvious as everybody just buying too many bits of glass or whatever because it likes the latest, greatest.
Yeah.
But you do see it. I saw
it.
I saw it at BFOP the first year I was attending a workshop, very observant of what was going on around me. And there were people there with really big, full frame Canon R bodies with big glass. And they were asking the instructor what, it was the middle of the day and they were asking, the first thing in the morning, and they're asking the instructor what ISO they should dial in. And it's like, hang on, you shouldn't be asking that question while you're carrying $12,000 worth of camera gear. You've done it. You put the cart before the horse, like.
There's a Richard just made a great comment in the chat about the power of it being the idea, right? And his comment there, my version of that is less is more, or you keep it simple, or all those things. Learn.
Yeah.
My first, when I started photography, I had a 24mm lens, and it was a great lens, and I shot everything with it. And then I got a 50, and I shot forever with that thing. They look like they've been through a war, and every piece of kit that I have looks used because I use it and focus on exactly what Richard's talking about. The idea, buy less, try more. It's if you've got gear that thrash it, thrash what you have, beat the shit out of it. Strobes is another great example. You're so right, mate. Is learn how to use one light really well, and then maybe buy another and learn those. We all fall into. I fall into it with torches, with flashlights. I own about 97,000 torches.
I kind of feel like you've earned that right, Dennis. I feel like you've earned that privilege, that
Thanks.
King of torches.
I'll take it.
Before, just so we don't hold Bruce on here forever, because he's probably living life. Bruce,
Yes.
Do you have any thoughts on small cameras versus big cameras? Is it something you think about?
I do. I've, much to Greg's shock and horror, I've looked at the Fuji rangefinders forever and a day, but I've not had the opportunity to pull a trigger on one just due to timing and finances, and it would be just a play camera. It wouldn't be for my professional use. I would love to have something like that always around, because I don't have an everyday carry apart from the iPhone. So, and I've got some cool stuff out of my phone. That's a here nor there. But I would love to have something like a little rangefinder in my back pocket all the time. But opportunity hasn't allowed that. Unless Fuji want to send me one, I'm happy to. I'm happy to take gifts.
And one of those one of those Eterna 55s to go with it, just like a little combo pack.
I actually don't want one. I don't want one. I can give you a whole breakdown on that camera. Oh my God. It's an amazing camera, but it is made for movie sets and it needs two people to operate it.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy.
Next level.
It is an actual proper cinema camera where you have an operator and a first AC to operate it. Like I operate it by myself. I took it to a dawn service and had a bit of fun with it. It's ridiculously heavy, and like as an example, this is why I say it's a two-person camera. the actual menus are on both sides of the camera, on the flat of the camera, and then you got your EVF, your monitor, right? Your monitor doesn't have any menus on it. So all the menus are on the side of the camera. So if you need to adjust something, you need to take your eye off what you're shooting as an operator and look at the side of the camera. And if you're in an awkward position, you can't do that. That's because it's made for two people.
Yeah. Wow.
Imagine if you could just talk to it. You wouldn't have to see anything. Although you...
Okay. If you could talk to it, what voice would it have?
Yeah. What would Fuji's voice be? Oh, interesting.
Well, it'd be like you'd be able to choose. But what I know is this, Bruce, if you were on set talking to your return of the director, it'd be in your face in about 3 nanoseconds.
Yeah. Well, that's true. You'd have to whisper to it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you whisper sweet nothings to your camera.
Oh dear.
Indeed.
That's funny.
I want to talk a little bit about products, but we'll kick Bruce off first.
You anything else to add, Bruce?
No, I just want to see people put in the chat whose voice they should hear for Fuji's voice control.
Yeah,
like the sat navs, like you used to get Darth Vader and stuff like that.
Yeah. Who should Fuji have?
Yeah, Mr. Bean. I'd go for Mr. Bean.
Greg Cromie.
I could do it.
Okay, guys. I'll catch you later.
Thanks, Bruce.
See you, Bruce.
We talked earlier about how all the big brands dropped compacts and fixed lens cameras pretty much. Fuji stuck with it, Sony stuck with it, obviously Leica. One of the everlasting models from Sony was the RX100 range, and the latest version was number 7. Now that came out quite a few years ago. There was a news article today that I found from almost a week ago now that in Indonesia, Sony have registered a new patent for a new digital camera, and it's a fixed lens compact camera because they get classified separately compared to interchangeable lens cameras. And the question that was raised in the article is this the RX100 Mark VIII? And I think it's interesting to see that, and I think we'll see a little bit more of this, camera companies starting to lean back into the compacts fixed lens ecosystem because they did ditch it. And when they ditched it, all of that knowledge, tooling, manufacturing capabilities, all of that disappeared because they no longer wanted to do it. And now they've got to retool. They've got to relearn. They've got to remaster that compact fixed lens camera market. And we saw it last year when Sony, I think this was kind of a bit of a desperate kind of let's just throw this out there and hope we sell some units when they released the RX1R Mark III, was it?
Yeah.
But it was ridiculously priced. Like incredible power.
And it was
but very little in terms of upgrade from Mark II.
Yeah.
I think it was the same lens. It was.
I'd be interested to see. There were some iterative updates across some aspects of it, but I would be interested to see what the sales numbers were like on that. Whether it exceeded what their goals were. I'd love to know.
Yeah. Well, it disappeared from the news cycle very quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, real quick. Yeah, it was. There was so much strain. I remember we were talking about it on the show, or you guys were. We were watching, but at the time it was. There were all sorts of NDAs. No influencers had.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, people were complaining about that.
Yeah, when you keep the shills away, there's something very sketchy going on.
Don't send this to anybody.
Yeah, this is
not good. To me, that was Sony saying, "Look, we've already got the lens design. We've already got the body design. We've got the guts of it. Let's just put in some new updates. Let's put it out there."
Yeah, I think it's someone that saw how well the X100, the Q series, and the
GFX as well,
new GFX 100 RF was getting received, and they were like, "Holy shit, we're missing out on market share. Pull something together fast."
Here's an interesting thing. A thought just popped into my head. When I bought the Q3, it was for quite a specific project. So it was for my India. I was doing an India trip, and it was a bit of a coming of age. That was my excuse for buying it. Camera. But here's an interesting thing. I've had it for nearly 2 years. This thing has more than paid for itself by the amount I've used it commercially. And that is an indication of how, and I mean proper commercial, so being on commercial shoots where it is part of my kit for making images and they end up being provided to the client. And it is I think there's probably no better indicator of the fact that, now insert any, because that could be any version of that, because all the images are good, but for a form factor, for pulling it out in the middle of a shoot with a client and using a small, tiny, compact camera, they are powerful devices. David Hockney passed away this week, right? Now, I'm weirdly 2 days before he passed away, I started Joiner Photograph. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. But my point is that, Hockney, you look at Hockney, all the great photographers of the 70s and 80s, they were all using compact fixed lens, or maybe not fixed lens, but they were all using compact small cameras. It is, all of this stuff is all about marketing. Small compact cameras are coming back because they're fashionable again. Big, bulky cameras, because they all have a marketing purpose and a reason, and a insert. I've used up all my words. I think we should be careful.
That's okay. No, I get it. It's like the whole, it always fascinates me in America, the whole big truck mentality. I mean, we call them utes, right? But they call them trucks.
Wait, Greg, wait. Have you ever driven one? They're so fucking good to drive.
I've driven an F100.
Yeah. An a 2500 series Chevy, a new one to drive.
Yeah, I get that.
It's nice.
I get all of that.
It's so nice. They're so smooth. You can hear petrol bowsers spinning when you accelerate. It's so nice.
But the point is it's that whole, bigger is better because it feels more substantial. Yeah. It's more dominating. It's more powerful. There's all of those sort of connotations. And we see it in the camera industry as well. For ages, Canon and Nikon were putting out, especially APS-C DSLRs, that were basically hollow. They felt empty and light because they were going for this big plastic body, but the innards weren't that big. But they were making it big, but they were making the body big to try and make it a dominant product. Yeah.
What's that bad boy?
That is, look at the size of it, right? Again, that's my full frame Sony, right? That camera there is an Olympus Micro Four Thirds. The other side of it. It's got a double grip. Now, I love it. I use it heaps. This is my drive, but that is a perfect example of designing a camera to be big. It's a Micro Four Thirds sensor. It's absolutely tiny in there.
Yeah. Wow, dude, it just looks odd, doesn't it? Look at the size of that little thing. Yeah.
I mean,
what is that, a sensor for ants?
Stunning camera, but it doesn't need to be that big.
Yeah. An EM1X, the chat's chiming in.
Let's catch up on some comments, Justin.
Okay.
Lots going on in the chat.
And then we'll cap off this discussion. I have some thoughts too. But if Dennis has any more show and tells or demonstrations, but let's go back and see what everyone's been saying. There's so many things.
This Richard Greenfeld guy is so onto it.
Yeah, he's a wizard. He's a very smart man. Let's start with that. He says, as a musician, I thought buying the right guitar would make me play like Stevie Ray Vaughan or Steve Vai. Sadly, what I actually needed was practice. I wish getting better was as easy as spending money. Me too, Richard. I'm currently looking at a collection of boutique guitar pedals on the floor of my studio that arguably made me worse as a guitarist, not better. But gosh, guitar pedals are fun to buy. I don't know if we have anything similar to that in the camera world. Lenses would be the closest thing, but there's nothing quite like a handmade guitar pedal. If you guys know, you know. It's exactly right. We get caught up as guitarists chasing tone rather than just learning how to play songs, because it's fun. So anyway, what else were people saying? Some of the discussion around what voice a Fujifilm voice to settings camera would reply with is Greg Carrick says a cute Japanese girl. Parabellum Collectibles says Liam Neeson. I have a very particular set of skills. Philip Johnson agrees. Greg's voice. I think that'd be a good
now
one.
that's the voice I would take.
The Morgan Freeman option.
Morgan Freeman option.
Yeah.
Like a
Greg Carrick says John Cleese with insults. All right, and then Bruce Moore said Bobcat Goldthwait. That would be a good one. Pee Wee Herman, Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne would be hard to. You'd be like, come on, man. Like, you're waiting for him to finish talking about the settings. You're like, come on. We're trying to shoot something. Okay. Lots of people have mentioned OM System, obviously synonymous, OM System and Olympus, synonymous with like compact but capable cameras.
Oh my God. Crazy.
They were the ones that were pushing against the full frame market, essentially, single-handedly, until Fujifilm come along with the X series, I guess, and sort of tried to steal that thunder a little bit with their super much bigger crop sensor. What else? What else were people saying here? Jason's long been a convert / user of small cameras, micro four thirds, Fuji's, even Sigma DPs. But there's been a reverse flow example recently. I've been taking the DSLRs out again. Gosh, there's a lot of nice DSLRs. And that is going to happen. Richard Grenfell says boutique pedals are for pimps and real estate agents. That's right. That's right, baby. Nice. It depends. Your version of boutique and my version of boutique might be different. Mine are just handmade. You're probably thinking of like actual ones that cost $5,000. That's not what I'm talking about. Mine are not that expensive. What else? Not much else. Nev's been loving the Q3 and it's now in his workflow. He's used it in weddings. He mentioned before events. They're small and discreet. People feel cool not looking at a big fat lens, which is actually interesting because just before that, Nev was shooting weddings with GFXs. So it's like he's sort of he's used both, and he would still be using the GFXs, I guess, at weddings as well. So getting that real time feedback from what people do when you lift up a different type of camera in
that's where that's I think in a year's time I'll be GFX.
So okay, let me cap off my part of this discussion, because it was really funny when Greg sent through this and I had read that article already, and I thought, of course, he's going to want to talk about a famous camera reviewer wanting to buy the same Fuji film that Greg's got. I was like, this is definitely going to come up on the podcast, because it's quite a feather in the cap to have someone who's been handed a new camera every week for the last 15 years of his life to say, I think I want to buy the same camera that Greg Cromer uses. I think that's what he said in the article. He actually mentioned,
I think he did,
Greg, in the article.
Because he saw me on X5.
No, he didn't. But it would be. But we can perpetuate that rumor on the internet.
Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story, I say.
That's right. That's right. So, and I think that is very cool. And it's a camera that I was pretty tempted on until I found out that didn't quite fit my hand the way I had thought about. But I'm hoping the X Pro 4 does. But long story short, I had all my gear laid out on the floor of my office, probably for the last 4 days, because I'm contemplating selling some stuff. Stuff that's been on the chopping block for a while. I've got a lot of my bigger Canon lenses.
Oh, that's all right.
My bigger Canon lenses that I've replaced with smaller options, and I've had them basically sort of set aside. I don't rush to sell things. I'm in a fortunate situation where if I acquire a new piece of equipment, it usually doesn't require the sale of another piece of equipment, but I plan to. I'm like, if I get this new bit and it works out in my kit, I'll get rid of this other bit in a couple of months when I've confirmed that it's all good, And I laid everything out, and I got the R3 out, this is the R3. The R3 is a full-size body, like the R1. It's like Dennis's. What was that one you just held up before, Dennis? The
M1X.
M1X. So it's a full gripped body.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to be able to get rid of it and have the R5 Mark II and the R6 Mark III as my two sort of main camera bodies. And I haven't used the R3 for probably 4 months to confirm that it would all be fine, and I haven't. But then I picked it up, and now I don't want to sell it. The viewfinder on paper has the same specs kind of as the R5 Mark II, the same dots and all that stuff. But then I looked through it and it looks way better. The eye cup's bigger. The area, it's a more immersive experience in that little viewfinder. And everything feels better about that camera.
Then why aren't you picking it up? Why aren't you shooting with it?
I forced myself not to use the new camera that I bought to make sure that it would fit my needs.
Yep.
I don't sort of stay with the old one and not use the new one. But because the plan was to sell the R3. Because the problem with the R3 is it's big. It's big, and so when you shoot, street or something with it, it's very imposing. So I was like, I can't use it for that. But I have a Q3.
Commercially, though, grips are
nice.
grips are the best. Like if now that I'm not shooting commercially as much, I didn't really. It's the first time I've ever contemplated having a stills camera without a grip constantly attached to it. It's So I have GFX.
Yeah, and well, I was just going to say, an inbuilt grip for me is better because the batteries that like the proper batteries that go in a full size body are far better than the small batteries. Yeah. I had 2 batteries for the R3, and I've got 6 batteries for the R5 Mark II, and it's just how it's had to be. But long story short, and I'll show you some pet photography soon when we switch gears. But I'm finding myself. I know the Fujifilm GFX 102 has one of the best viewfinders on the market. I'm finding myself lusting after a really great viewfinder.
Yeah.
And when I was shooting pet photography in the studio, I want a screen that tilts out so I can do lower angles, and I don't want it to do what the stupid Canon one does where it flips out to the side because I can't nicely just look down and shoot. I want it to be directly behind the lens, not out to the side. It just really annoys me having it out to the side. I can't compose with it as well. I feel crooked. Yeah. So I was like, I might end up with a GFX. And it's funny because Greg's talking about these small cameras and how they're taking over the industry, and I'm looking at the biggest camera like, oh, maybe I should get that. And it's probably a dumb idea, and I won't be rushing into it because my Canon gear's just fine, but it was really interesting that I picked up the R3, looked through the viewfinder, and remembered just, wow, this is actually a better experience than either of my other cameras.
I know we're getting on time, but a quick follow on from that. I think the important point is, especially if you are someone that you normally uses commercial bigger cameras, is it's not so much will this small compact camera replace your bigger gear, but it means that when you're going out for a walk or you're going somewhere that you're not shooting commercially, can you pick up a smaller camera that will satisfy you like the big one would? And I think that is happening more. Yep, that's it, mate. That's it. Or your X106 or whatever, the Fuji XTs. It's for someone that is shooting big gear all the time. You're not. More and more now, it's less of a compromise to pick up that smaller camera, and that's the great thing. I think that's probably the I didn't think about that before, but that's probably it.
I agree.
Yeah, and that circles back very nicely to where that article originated, was that these less imposing, smaller, compact, fixed lens cameras, or not interchangeable, provide great experience, great image quality. They may not match the GFX or the R3 or whatever it may be, but that, like you said, Dennis, it's not about replacing like for like. It's about getting something that complements your kit, perhaps.
That's it. I can scroll
and provide you with options.
Yeah, I can scroll through my Lightroom and there are a stupid number of cameras on there, and it's very rare that I'm not just looking at the images and picking the ones out that are a good image. I mean, Richard hit the nail on the head before. It's a good. If it's a good image, it doesn't matter what it's taken on. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah. Very good point.
Yeah.
Very good point.
This gosh, I
Let's
got to
look
find
at
out what
some
the end of
images,
this
eh?
comment is. Yeah, we will look at some images. I'll
Do we need another ad read?
yeah, go to luckystraps.com and buy one.
Yeah.
Yo.
Use code Dennis is small for.
My strap is so important to me. It lives on the shelf where it stays beautiful and clean because I don't use straps so much. But when I do, lucky strap.
That's right.
Was that
I'd like to.
That was
We need
perfect.
to work up Dennis's a bit harder and to get it a bit more patinaed, a little bit more worn.
I have to work on that. When I
throw it in the
strap
river,
on,
it's bright.
it's with Lucky. Wild.
Actually, I've got a better thing that we should say in the in this part of the show. Greg Carrick said it somewhere. If you get a chance, just like this video. That would actually be amazing. If you like this show, hopefully YouTube will show it to some more photographers, and we can grow our posse. What I'd love is if anyone has a friend who's a photographer that hasn't sent a photo in, hassle them to send a photo in next week. They don't even have to watch live. They can watch back later. They can check it out later if they're not around. Find a friend who hasn't sent a photo into this show and hassle them to send something in. It'll inspire them to go through their Lightroom catalog or to get out and shoot something. It'll be fun.
Yeah. And if you like what you see here on the Camera Live podcast, don't forget that we do this twice a week, always live. Every Monday evening, 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, we have our random photography show where, as you can see, we can talk about anything from industry news to new product launches to what's going on with our friends and neighbors. So make sure you subscribe, tickle the bell icon, and that way you'll get a notification in your time zone when the Camera Live podcast is coming to you. And speaking of the Camera Live podcast, this coming Thursday, we have our regular interview show at 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And this week we are interviewing, losing my words. I've got it here. We're interviewing Katie Phillips. Katie Phillips is an Aussie family, maternity, couples, wedding, baby photographer, and Dennis will like this, art therapist. And
I saw that.
Yeah, so Katie's joining us on Thursday. So like I said, make sure you subscribe and dial in. That's it. That's all I've got.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. When I saw that she's an art therapist, I will be there with bells on. Oh no, I won't. It's my wife's birthday. She'll be spewing, but I will definitely come back and watch it. There's a lot of photos. I'm looking at the photos. There's a lot of photos for us to get through.
I know. We're going to crank through them.
We're going to skedaddle. I'm
going to start with mine. I'll have to go through mine quite quickly. Where did this end up? Hang on. Put that in there. Where is that? All right. We're going to get through these fast.
Lucky straps are for pimps and real estate agents. I like it. That means I need to be a pimp or a real estate agent. What would I be?
Yeah, just like good. Now, I'll start with mine. I'll try and move through them pretty quick because there's a lot of them, but the point is more to give you a quick overview of my 4-dog pet shoot that wasn't supposed to be a 4-dog pet shoot from the other week. And so to start with, so first of all, I'm going to read out Richard's comment that says, I did a lot of pet stuff. All you need is an f4 zoom with animal tracking on the Canons. It's so easy. It's like cheating. Agree. I did use an f4 zoom. I used the 24 to 105, but I think, I think I can do it with a 28 to 70 next time probably because I checked my metadata as you should always do after a lot of shoots, and I didn't really hit either end of the zoom range. I shot a lot at about 28 mil and a lot at 50 mil. They tend to be my favorite focal lengths. I would use primes, but it's really handy with pets to be able to quickly change. Now, this shot will show you that I do indeed need a climate-controlled studio to work with pets.
I think you
because in winter, when it's cold AF in Bendigo, it looks like they're smoking because they're breathing out really, really hot dog air.
Wow.
And then in summer, it's too hot for them in the shed. So on the list will be a space that I can control the climate of. I did the usual kind of lighting setups that I did. We had 4 dogs. Their names were, where are we? This one is Buster, Sage the Kelpie, Winnie the little black puppy, and Reggie, which was the even littler puppy that you'll see at the end, who was Plumber Matt's little pooch. So I played around with black background and like a red sort of background. We did some treat throwing just for fun because this puppy was just a bit wild. And yeah, just
It's great.
I like to get some nice portraits. This is mainly with one light. Actually, no, there's more like 4 lights, but it's too hard to explain in this show. I'll have to do a behind the scenes shot next time. Some more treat throwing. I should have done more of that. They were mainly just for fun, and now I'm like, oh, actually, that was pretty. We should have done more, and I should have tried to get some good expressions with them. This poor Kelpie, Elena's parents' Kelpie Sage was just stressing, so I didn't really get many photos at all. She did not want to be in front of the camera at all. But yeah, played around with the red, some full length shots and some shots of these two together. Managed to get the Kelpie one ear up, but you can see how she's like, I don't really want to be here. I'd like to be
she's all
outside
tucked
now.
in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm still learning a lot about working with dogs that aren't so comfortable, and just playing around with them to get silly shots like this, which wasn't intentional. We were just trying to get them to burn off a little bit of energy.
People are the same. People are the same in studios.
Yeah, that's a good
point.
Some
of them are super comfy, some of them are super awkward, and you probably motivate them the same way.
Yeah, throw a ball.
Yeah.
Throw treats at them. And then, so this was the final dog, which was the youngest puppy, Reggie, and it was by far the most easy and well-behaved dog to take photos of. It just would sit there and do whatever it wanted. And so, yeah, we had a bit of fun. I like this. Yeah, that was a funny shot that just happened by chance. But I'm shooting these and I'm like, I need more light. I want more power. I had my lights maxed out and I still had to be at ISO 200 for some of the shots because my modifier is massive. It's a 1.8 meter softbox and it's not super efficient. So I'm like, maybe I need a 1200 light. That'd be nice.
Yeah, you need.
You need more. You reckon I need more power?
More power, mate. Bigger.
More power. Bigger lights.
Bigger or a parabolic.
I did. I looked at those, but I have to learn how to use one. I've never.
The nice thing about them, you can get that. That's one there. It also gives a round catch light rather than octa.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't want to spend. I don't know what a parabolic that's like 1.5 meters. It would probably cost me way too much money. This was a Godox 1.8 meter softbox, octagonal, obviously. It cost $180 or something like that. Yeah. Like it was, it's
incredible. We live in great times.
We do live in great times. A few more puppy shots. That one was the most easy to work with. It's got some running towards the camera.
That's good.
So I had put this stuff on the back burner, this dog photography stuff, because I've got a lot of lucky work to do at the moment. But I think I got to make it happen. I got to start doing these properly. So, once we have a temperature controlled studio, it'll be all systems go.
Very cool.
More pooches. And that is that.
They're great. They're really great shots.
Gorgeous, mate.
Yeah, well done.
It was a fun, fun way to spend a Saturday. Gotta love dogs.
Oh yeah. Should we bring up Dennis's images?
I think we should. Should we
start
with
behind the scenes?
Yeah. Should we start with the images, Dennis, or the behind the scenes video?
Let's look at the images first.
Okay.
And I'll power through them. We don't need to be getting fancy with this. So we shot an episode of Aussie Part Barbies last weekend, and the story behind the episode was we were heading out light painting, and on the way we stopped to make a meal, and we were heading to the salt. We were going out onto the salt flats, but as we were leaving Port Pirie, there were these abandoned train carriages. So we ended up stopping there, and at the end of the night, for the episode, I wanted to make a portrait of my two amazing friends. So we jumped into one of the carriages, and I think this was the third attempt. I got this one. So it's hand lit, so I light them by hand. I've got a magnetic light on the outside of the carriage illuminating the one next door, and this is a single exposure. Yeah, it was remarkable. The texture and the walls and the graffiti and they sat very still and it was a gorgeous night and I really love, as you guys know, portraits. If I'm making images of humans, I'm a happy man.
Yep.
But this is a single exposure, ISO 100, maybe 30 seconds, f4 or something. It's and there's a and if you want to show that, can you play the video?
Yeah. I was going to say maybe I'll quick because it's for that image. So I'll bring the video up for it. Where is it? Yeah.
This is just a quick little thing, just for people. The reason I make these is that people, I want people to see how easy it is, and so this shows the technique.
Looks like you were using a 360 camera to film this.
Yeah, sure am. So I shorten this but you can see I scan them by hand, and then I pop a bit of light around the space, and then add the blading. It's as simple as that.
Just magic.
Any idiot could do this.
Yes, yeah, of course. It's just.
But no, it's all about. I mean, it's all about lighting them by hand is that's how you get the shape and the texture and it's remarkable way to illuminate people. That's for sure. And it will never ever be repeated. It's always always one thing and yeah.
How did this shot? We won't go too long, but how did this shot evolve in terms of? I'll go back to the full shot in terms of finding the. Actually, I'll play this one more time before we do that. While you're talking about it, how did it evolve in terms of you finding the composition that you wanted, and then how many times did you have to sort of repeat that pattern, trying to get the right?
Yeah, so
shot?
we walked through the carriage earlier in the day, and I spotted it then and remembered it, and I wanted them to be in it. And what you need is you need the person to be able to stay still. So she was able to lean on that, and he could sit with his elbows there, because the main thing is they need to keep their heads still. And this was the third attempt and last one. So I get pretty good at knocking these out first, pretty quick. And what I changed, the things I change is not so much lighting them. I'm pretty good at that now. Is if the blading is either too much or too little. You can see it's a bit wobbly on the right-hand side there. I would normally have another go, but we were tired and wanted to leave. But yeah, I would sometimes, I smash these out pretty quick. We're in there for like 3 to 5 minutes, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel very, I love it. I just feel blessed to be able to give this to people as a gift. That's how I feel about this, and the reason I make these videos and stuff is I want other people to see that it is it's a real thing. This is not some bullshit AI Photoshop layered composite rubbish. This is something that anybody can do.
With a lot of practice.
Oh yeah, I made one or two of these, but practice is good, right? Practice is
absolutely.
Good.
Exactly.
Indeed.
I treat it like a practice. Oh, okay. So so this was from outside. Again, this is a single exposure. I'm fanatical about my Astro work being a single exposure. And what's insane about this image is that there's a giant power station in behind this place, and then we were getting a nasty reflection off the silver paint on the side, but you can see a little bit of light painting in there, some blading. So I've got a light inside the carriage. I'm down on the ground, like I could barely see the back of the camera, but it's at ISO 1600. This is with a 35mm Lauer, so it would have been at maybe 1.2 or maybe 1, f1, which means the blade is so dim that when it's on, you can barely see it, and it shows up. Yeah, but yeah, single exposure. Thanks.
Beautiful.
Thank
Beautiful.
you. I love it.
Very cool.
I want to do. It's all I ever want to do my whole life. Oh, there's another one. Yeah.
Then there's another one.
Yeah. The Milky Way it rocks, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very much the same with Astro, and it's not because I don't love the work from people like Richard Taddy that stack stuff and that, but for me, I just love getting that photo and that's done. Well, I know you, and then you edit it or whatever later, but just not having to look at different photos and be like, oh, when I blend these together later, it's going to be great. I just like to see it and be like, wow, that's the night sky.
Look, I agree, and I just keep rotating back to this idea that I want every single person that ever sees an image of mine to know that they can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That you can do this yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. We should keep
Amazing.
moving away from mine. And thank you for the very kind comments, everyone in the comments. It means a massive amount to me that I make something that pleases your eyeballs.
Yeah, and lots of comments about it being inspiring too. It's not just eye candy. It's people are taking stuff away from this going, well, so many possibilities. So yeah, well done.
Yes.
I've got a couple in there.
Yep.
Do you want to bring them up today?
Done.
I haven't been out much lately, to be honest. But every now and then I'll take the camera with me on a little stroll, play around with hunting some light. I've been really getting into architecture a lot more, I've realized, with street photography. Finding really interesting spaces and shapes just by looking up. Often we see, when you're photographers, you often people watch. Well, I do as a street photographer especially. And you see people moving through the world without glancing up or down. And I discovered when I was doing macro photography that I should be looking down more to see what wonders are at my feet. And then with architectural stuff, I should be looking up more. There's just so much going on around us, and it's just looking for those shapes and compositions that I think are worth documenting.
Yeah, that's looking up and looking down is such a thing. It's such a powerful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The advice you get early on as a photographer is often just get out of that eye line photography. Not that that's bad, but like experiment, get low, get high, look up, look down. Do a top down shot, find things to look through, just get your camera into different positions to what you would normally just see walking down the street.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
great advice.
The light on that person's face is gorgeous because
it was just really good.
Yeah, we eyes drawn there, and we can see that he is looking straight at us, which is lovely.
Yeah.
Very cool, Greg. So you haven't been out much, but you've been doing it. You're still
every now and
make
then.
it happen.
These images were just from going out doing errands. And because we don't have a car, we choose not to. We live in a city. I walk everywhere or public transport. So I'm always looking, I'm always traveling with a photographer's eye. So just got to be in the right place. So yeah.
That's it. And you got to have your Fujifilm with you.
That's right. No other way to do it.
Which makes it easy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right, because they're small.
Yep.
Although I want a bigger camera. Anyway. Let's keep on trucking.
All right, let's look at your images, people. Time to... we've got John Latimer first.
We do.
Shall I kick off? All right. Hey, guys. Been swamped with work and traveling interstate so much this past month for events and really feeling the pressure. I managed to squeeze in some time for some photo walks and switch the brain off for a while. This week's photo is of a young grey bitcher bird. Never heard of that. Had amazing light in between the rain and wasn't really planning on taking photos, more just to get out and away from it all for a moment. But better to have the camera and not need it rather than to need it and not have it. Shot with an A7R3 with a 200 to 600, 1/200th of a second at f8 ISO 100.
And,
There's something really like birds are wild, hey, because it's so hard to get them in a composition where it's not distracting, and this is it. This is at f8, and you still got that soft background is gorgeous, but the exposure control, the feathers, because it's backlit, the feathers are not blowing like that. That's special.
Yeah. The like backlight sort of rim lighting on those feathers is perfect too, because it's not super blown out. It's just nice. Yeah, it's a great shot. Great composition too. Just a bit of negative space on the right, and you're spot on. Trying to find a spot where they're not just sticks everywhere in the back.
Yeah, a distraction off them, isn't it? Apparently, I got it wrong. It's a butcher bird.
Well, no, I mean, I'm reading the text and I copied it word for word. So
it's on you, John. It's a butcher bird.
Maybe John discovered a new species that you guys aren't aware of, the bitcher bird. But either way.
Yeah.
And John Latimer proving Greg wrong. You don't need a nice compact camera in 2026. An A7R3 with a 200 to 600 is exactly what you need to make an amazing shot.
To walk around.
It's a walk around, just a point and shoot. An everyday carry point and shoot. Awesome shot, John. Thank you for sending it in.
Well done. Up next, we've got Gareth with some idle wind photography.
Can I
read this one, Dan? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, do it.
I'd like to, because my new photo that you guys are using was taken on a Q3 mono. So this is from Gareth. Hi, Justin. I'm just watching last Monday's podcast, and I thought I'd send you this for image review. This was taken at a workshop at Shreddenham's in Bristol on the Leica Q3 mono. This particular image is from the JPEG using the Selenium Leica Lux at ISO 20,000, 1/1000th of a second, f2.8, and cropped a lot. I did also take a few photos on the SL3S, which were also good. I heard you talk about the Leica 2870 lens. You could save some money getting the Sigma version. I bought the 7200 f2.8 from Sigma, and it's really good, along with the 2414. Regards, Gareth. Now, I'd be curious if he's talking about 70 to 200 in the Sigma to go onto the SL3S.
Yeah, I think so.
I imagine, yeah.
We
were talking about it last week.
Yeah. So I went on a deep dive, Dennis, because Marcus Bell came on the podcast, and damn, him made me want an SL3. Yeah. And then I talked myself out of the SL3, one, because it's insanely expensive, and two, because there's not many lenses in the Leica system. And I was like, wow, I don't know if that's a good idea. And then I remembered about the L Mount Alliance, and I went looking, and there are a lot of lenses available in L Mount, a lot, and they're really good. Sigma, and also all of the like Lumix stuff. So there's actually a lot of lenses, far more than what's available for Canon.
Look, it's the SL3. I know we need to keep moving, but yeah, the SL3 is something that gets me a bit juicy. Extraordinary. That lives in the same realm as the Blab. They are very good, and you're actually not spending that much more than if you go to a GFX system. I promise you, I've done that. I've put those all into mini shopping carts.
They're in a similar basket for me in terms of price and what the system offers. What's really fun, and there's a guy I'd actually love to get on the podcast. He's got sort of a smallish YouTube channel, and he did a video. He is a photographer in Hawaii, working commercial, but also landscape photographer in Hawaii. And he switched to the SL3. He'd been a Canon shooter for many years, a dream camera SL3, stuck with it for 18 months. And then he made a 20 to 30 minute long video about why he's going back to Canon after trying to use it for 18 months. And the dream that he had for this gear that he lusted over, and then the reality of what it was like shooting with it. and that it wasn't all bad, but the cons outweighed the pros when reality set in after a year and a half of using it. And I was like, this is a very honest video this guy's making.
Well, you know what they say about supermodels, right?
What's that?
Well,
no. What did they say?
Well, the fantasy of laying down with a supermodel, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is often disappointing. But the interesting thing
hasn't been in my experience, but you know.
And this is something. Okay. The interesting comment that Gareth makes here that I have experienced is ISO 20,000. Now I've shot with the Q3 model, and in those that it is mental how clean that thing is at high ISOs. Wild.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. This shot, like. Yeah, it's hard to see, but it has been cropped a lot, I'm sure, and it's still so clean. Like his shoes, the detail and stuff on his shoes that I can see on my screen it's pretty crazy.
What a great photo! The guy in the background, like it's a great composition and a very smart crop as well with the guy in the background and all that. Amazing.
Shreddenham's sounds like a really fun place to take photos, so that's actually very cool. A great place for a workshop. So I'm glad you had fun there, and I'm jealous of your Q3 mono as well and your SL3S. So, damn.
I'm very close to locking in a workshop in Melbourne the week before BFOP, by the way.
Ooh.
Well. Keep us in the loop.
We know some people.
Yeah.
Greg Carrick is up next.
Greg,
is that who you've got?
Yes. Now he's got a little collection, and I'll try and bring them up at the right time. I'm not actually sure.
All right. Hi, Justin, Greg, and Jim, aka Dennis. I went out with a bunch of photographers from the Yarra Rangers Photographic Society into Melbourne to get city light photos. I decided to only do multiple exposures. You can do this in camera with Fujifilms, up to 9 images in a photo, but I just stuck to double exposures. And here's 2 samples. The first of each is the 2 images side by side that make up the double exposure, then the final result. The first girl I photographed was a model being photographed by a bunch of other photographers. I just bumped in and did the double exposure thing. And when I showed her the back of the camera, she lit up and was jumping around in excitement. I think I put a few noses out of place. Anyway, I had fun, and I'll add this to my grab bag of how to shoot street.
And here's another one. So this is the other 2 images, and then the final result. Double exposure is really fun.
There's a lot of photos we need to get through.
Yeah, I know.
I reckon we had to have a crack for 3 hours, shall we?
If you've got to go, Dennis, just yell out.
No, not at all. I'm just trying to be. I'm just trying to be like the wise one, the smart.
The wise one.
Like
there's a lot. But yeah, these are great.
They're really neat. Double exposures are super. That's a whole nother way of thinking, right?
Like, isn't it?
Seeing, your street photography already is that masterful sort of thing where you've got to see stuff, but then being able to visualize them being one on the other is so good.
Yeah.
Coda is also one of the great albums of all time, of course. Led Zeppelin.
Okay, John Hall. Let's keep it rocking.
All right, you want to read this one, Den?
Okay, let's go. Hi guys. Don't know what happened to this one. I sent it in a couple of weeks ago and it seems to have disappeared. So I thought I'd resend it. Vivid has just been on in Sydney, and we went out a couple of weeks ago on a very wet Tuesday evening. We were shooting the lights up in the Argyle Cut when I turned around and the atmosphere of this scene caught my eye. Taken on my Z6 III with a 28 2.6 at f5.6, 1/100th of a second ISO 6400. We subsequently went out a week later when the weather was better and got arguably better shots of the lights, but it didn't compare to the atmosphere of this night. Yeah, look at the reflection on the ground of that. Yeah, that's fully sick.
It's sort of a more interesting take on Vivid than seeing some of the, because you see so many of this sort of same kind of shots. It's a beautiful, obviously Vivid's a cool thing, but this is something different, and I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, that's moody, man. That looks like a film noir shot from noir. And again, this whole thing so often, highlights and shadows are kind of what I love, and really controlling the light coming out of that box. It would be like it's a very thin slice away from that just being a blown out white block. So it's gorgeous. There's the juxtaposition of the left and right of the frame as well. That's just art wank. I was just trying to find something interesting. But it's a gorgeous photo, mate. Well seen.
Yeah.
Well seen.
Yeah.
The
Great
light
shot.
painting there would be stunning. Well, it is light painting, really.
Mm-hmm. Everything's light painting.
Yeah.
It is. Photograph.
Up next, we've got Jamie Vandenbrink or Tweet Productions. Hi, Justin, Greg, and Camera Life alum. Hope you all have had a wonderful week. It's been miserable, wet and cold here in Toowoomba, Queensland. So I went trotting through the archives. Here is my photo of a kookaburra, which I took in the Blue Mountains in June last year. Since I bought my telephoto lens, which was for macro, mind you, it lures me into pointing it at these feathery little flappers and bikes instead. I swear I have no control over it. It must be a correlation of owning one. Anyway, I really do like this photo. The light and colors were beautiful. The branch it was sitting on had this wonderful swirly texture. Indeed. And his pose, turning back towards me, showed off his lovely feathers. This was shot with the Canon R5 Mark II, with the EF 100-400 Mark II and Shutter 1/500th, f5.6, ISO 6400.
640.
Oh, sorry, 640. Thank you.
That's okay.
Can I ask? I mean, this is not a critique of the photo at all. I think it's utterly gorgeous. But I wonder what people's feelings are of removing the feather that's coming out of his head in Photoshop. And this is coming from someone who is stupidly, ridiculously fanatical about only ever delivering the images that I capture light painting wise. But I often wonder whether just because in Photoshop you can in pretty quickly just remove that leaf. I wonder I wonder what people's feelings are on that. Whether and that's just my. Does it make it a better photo? Who knows? But I think it's lovely. Again, just this look how soft that background is.
Yeah,
It's remarkable.
Yeah.
What was that left start?
It's a tough one. It's like
It is, isn't it? It's tricky.
You definitely could do it, but I would tend to not do it. It would probably make it a much cleaner sort of composition. The other thing you could do, I think, if you cropped in tighter, particularly off the right-hand side where that kind of green, strong green is, if you cropped past that and cropped a bit of the top off here, I'm not saying you should do this, I'm just saying you could, it would potentially make this background seem more uniform, therefore this would look less like it's popping out of its head and more like it's part of the background because there's not an absence of leaf up here. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
If you sort of come, just across and down, maybe it would remove, but it would also change the photo completely and probably, not look as good. I think it looks great. So I don't know.
I only, again, just to be really clear, not a critique of the image, but I'm always curious about what people's feelings are on it.
Yeah.
And it's the reason why I don't edit any of my light painting images really is because I want, and then now I've been looking at it for a couple of minutes. It's quite cute. It's like a little crown.
But yeah, I get it. I mean, I don't remove anything from images, but I'm not shooting. I'm mostly shooting street stuff, But I like the way it is. The way it is. If I got it wrong, then I got it wrong. And I learn it. I move on.
Look, I that's why I hate camera clubs and being banned for life is because I find it I get furious when a camera club judge would look at this and go, well, if you'd moved 2 meters to the right, the beak would be the thing. I think, well, you dick, there was a cliff 2 meters to the right. It is what it is. This is an absolutely gorgeous photograph, for so many reasons.
Yeah, great shot. Great to get the profile, of the beak and stuff, because that bird could easily just sit there and face the other way the whole time you're standing there, and you're like, gah.
Well, in the catchlight, there's a catchlight in its eye, the texture of the feathers, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, great shot. Lots of great comments in the chat. We don't have time to read them all out, unfortunately, tonight because we talk too much. But a lot of people have agreed that potentially playing with crop could be fun, but it's always going to change. And Tweak says, we'll edit it and see how it looks. Thanks, Dennis. Also, a pretty heavyish crop already. This was a really tall tree. Exactly.
And herein lies the power. Herein lies the power of megapixels. The ability to crop, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Up next.
Who's up next? Felicity Johnson?
Yeah. Dan, you want to read this one?
Yeah, hi there. This is a photo of the giraffe tree, which is a yellow gum up the road from home in the Wellsford Forest. My husband, who is an early riser, sounds the fog alarm, and I'm straight out. I find the fog helps simplify our very busy forests, helping to isolate the point of interest. I agree. I took this photo last week on my Nikon Z8 with a 24-70 2.8 lens. The other photo was the same tree in spring 2023 when I was photographing wildflowers. Nikon D780 105 2.8 macro lens. Wow, that's a nice camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Can I see the fog one? Yeah, beautiful. Wow. Damn.
What a tree.
Oh, I like your husband. I love the fog alarm.
The fog alarm. Yeah.
Fog.
Yeah, I was thinking I need one of those, like but
Yeah.
like a foghorn one, like a you know. I have to get one of those for the show. We haven't been doing a lot of sound effects lately. Both great shots. I love revisiting the fact that you revisit the same subject too in your local area in different times of year and things like that. I think that's awesome, especially such a unique tree. So.
And how neat having a subject. I mean, we probably all have that, a spot, a place, an item that we revisit regularly to play with different lights and different textures and different moods with the same subject. It's a gorgeous idea, and getting the sun coming through on the other side is, we all love a good starburst, that's for sure.
Yeah
Amazing.
Greg Carrick says the bent tree on the right deserves its own image too.
Yeah, it does.
It's a super interesting tree. Maybe it's feeling left out. But yeah, fantastic shot. Philip Johnson says, have to love a tree with character.
Indeed.
So, okay. Up next.
Lucinda Goodwin is up next.
Oh, my Lord.
That's right.
Here we go.
Long time no see.
Hey, gang. Sending an image in this week. Got a last-minute call-up to shoot a show at Geelong Arts Centre. I always love this perspective of the artist on stage, as most people don't get to experience it. That's very true.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow, that's fascinating, isn't it? That's kind of what the performer looks out and the lights coming back.
And I love that it's just all purple.
It's very dreamy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Speaking from my experience of being on stage, I never played anywhere that looked quite so big and full and amazing as that. Usually it looked more like a dingy pub. So it is really cool to get these kind of perspectives that us normies don't get. Like we don't get to see this, especially maybe we get lucky enough to see it empty one day. You go up on stage and see what these venues look like when there's no one in them, but to see all those phone torches and everything from different decks, like that's pretty special.
But I have to look at, especially with Lucinda's work, and I go like like just what a remarkable opportunity as an image maker to be able to even be in the position where she is to make the image.
Yeah.
And I know how she gets there because she's very good,
trustworthy.
Very.
It takes the artist has to trust you to let you get in their creative space while they're performing, and that takes a lot of work and a lot of time to build that trust.
Mm.
Phil Thompson says
that's a great comment. Actually, that's really interesting.
Theatre is really quite intimate, but Lucinda, you've made it look like a stadium. Well done.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's very cool. Best seat in the house.
Yeah, very true.
Thanks, Lucinda. Keep sending them in. We missed you. I know you're busy, so it's fine if you don't, but we like it. Nev.
Yeah. Dan, you got this one?
Yeah, Nev. The story behind this photo. Oh my God, that's sick. Look at the lighting.
Yeah.
Wait, oh no, that's not the comment. Offshore winds create beautiful waves where the wave just kind of sits there before it crashes down. So dialing the shutter speed down to half a second gives it a long pause. It's like pausing. It's like pausing before you speak. Mindfulness meets photography, and they merge together. Oh my Lord, dude, you need to come and help me write my art as therapy course. Location: Sand Patch, Albany, Western Australia. Tech GFX 100S 2 GF 100 to 200, f14 ISO 40, shuttered half a second. I didn't have an ND filter on me, hence the extended ISO setting. Gorgeous. It actually works really well. Well, dude, I agree. That is extraordinary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's making me want a GFX. We better move on pretty quick. let's not linger on this photo for too long.
Nev,
Yeah,
I've just seen your comment there, Nev. I'll get in touch with you, mate. Actually, thank you.
Yeah, we'll connect it. We'll connect her up.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Thank you.
We'll have our people talk to both of your peoples, and we'll connect all the peoples.
Lovely photo, mate. That's gorgeous. Yeah. Well seen. That light.
Yeah, beautiful shot. It'd be nice to just be standing there watching this.
Oh,
that would be.
You can feel it, right?
On your morning walk.
That, old mate. It's one of the most valuable things I learned about photographing water was from our waterfall mate at BFOP. Useless with names, but he did 100 waterfalls in 100 days or something insane like that in Victoria, and he was like, yeah, misty, smoky, that frosty, soft cloud looking water is cool, but shoot a half a second or something like that, and you feel the movement in the water. You feel it. Like I can feel that wave there because it's not like crazy long exposure.
Yeah. It's just enough.
Yeah.
Who we got next? Phil Thompson.
Philly, allege. Oh,
hey,
wow.
Justin and Greg, these two images are of Trewutta Arch, that is amid the Tarkine Forest in Tasmania's northwest, one from either direction. They were captured on one of my many Tassie trips. This one is March 2019. It is a beautiful, easy walk into the arch through the rainforest with this rewarding view at the end of the track. Wow. Shot. Oh, no, look at that. Pentax K1 Mark II with the Pentax 15-30. The first photo was 1/30th of a second, f13 ISO 800. The second photo, 1/10th of a second, aperture f11 at 1600. As always, thanks for a great show and having the platform for photographers to learn, discuss, and share in their craft. Cheers. Thanks,
Look
Phil.
at the color there. That's amazing.
Yeah, I love that you've got both angles too. That's actually really cool.
Yes.
It's yeah.
You know what that needs? That needs some light painting.
Some light painting, of course. Imagine this at night time. You could go crazy in here, Dennis.
With the moon coming from behind those palm trees, it would just be ridiculous. I mean, yeah, one do. Phil, let's go, mate. I'll bring the helicopter. I'll pick up the
fuel it up. Yeah, thanks for sending those through there. Yeah, epic.
Yeah, they're very cool.
Epic. Now, where are we?
We're up to David Tarlington, Parabellum Collectibles. This one's for you.
Whoops. Here we go. This one's for me.
No, for Dennis, I meant, sorry.
Oh, let's go. Hi, Dave. Thanks for coming, my friend. Would like to submit some images from my very recent journey to Japan, if at all possible. Now, while there, I took the opportunity to capture as many images as possible, and have since arriving back home last week, only had the chance to look through 3 days worth of images so far. Now, the images I've sent through are from days I had reviewed while still in country, and hope you can give some feedback on them. Information attached for your reference. Canon R7 for this trip, mostly Sigma 16 to 300. Image 1, Nagasaki Peace Park, Peace Statue. Loved the first day visiting this amazing monument. With the rain setting in over the day, was fortunate enough for the crowds to move on long enough to capture the image with the reflection of the main path. Shutter priority, ISO 320, some bias stuff, 1/400th of a second, 16 mil. Image 2, Nagasaki Hypo Center, Spirit of Nagasaki. Really was only looking at getting some images of the bridge across the Urakami River, which runs about 100 meters from the Nagasaki hypocenter of the A-bomb. Oh, shit. That's pretty surreal. With so many people transiting the bridge to and fro the Atomic Museum, I tried to use a slow shutter speed to blur them out or to almost make them not in the image at all. But this image, along with a couple of others, worked better than I expected. The ghosting of the subject as she had stopped, then continued on, almost looks like a spirit from the past. This was done handheld using a railing as my temporary tripod. I love you, my friend. That is genius. Shutter priority, ISO 100, 4 seconds, 48 mil, aperture 11. Interesting. We'll submit more images as time goes on. There were thousands to go through. I think there is something quite stunning about that concept of this being a ghostly image considering where it is. And that is such a wonderful thing because it shows once again how looking at an image can make you feel or understand or know something. There is some power often in understanding the background of the image because that adds a third dimension to it. And this is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a cool image where it is, but it is multiplied knowing what is on the other side of that bridge, isn't it?
But it's also, considering the photographer's experience too, knowing those elements and looking for those moments. When I went to one of my trips to Japan, I went to Hiroshima, and I didn't plan this, but the day I caught the Shinkansen there and back from Kyoto, it was the International Day of Peace. And so at the bomb dome in Hiroshima, at the park, the Peace Park and at the museum, it was packed full of people, some survivors that were still alive, mostly family of survivors from the bomb blast. And just that experience, knowing that, what had happened, and the day that I happened to be there just made that photography experience so much more meaningful. And it ended up being one of the greatest days of photography I've ever had.
Yeah.
Because there was just so much more to it than just seeing the light and the shapes. There was context and story and history.
Well, that's it, right? Knowing a bit about either the place or the person who's made it. Even Now, can I be? David has asked for some feedback.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you some. I reckon you could crop this really hard. I think if you cropped it in hard enough to lose the stair railing at the bottom and the railing on the left, it would make this image timeless. It could be any time, although that is cropping it pretty hard, actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to
find. Or making it a vertical. That would be my only immediate sort of feeling on it. That's the first thing that popped into my mind, other than it just being a gorgeous idea and execution with the shutter speed and that. But maybe, that's the only thing that I think about is if you could crop in a little harder.
I think Dennis and Greg have talked pretty well. I think that other image does work great. So I'll give you some feedback on this one, and it'll be some more, some bog standard, more technical feedback, because this is tough lighting conditions. It's an overcast day, so the sky's going to get blown out. And I think, as you've seen, your R7 has some pretty nice in-body image stabilization that you can utilize. So you shot this at 1/400th at f4. I would try, and at ISO 320, I would get that ISO way down. I'd underexpose a little bit, and I'd crank up your aperture and slow right down your shutter speed. Maybe down to experiment with anything from like a 15th up to 100th and play around with that, with the right aperture setting at ISO 100, that you can try and get a bit of detail in the sky potentially. I know it was overcast and dreary and there's probably no cloud there anyway, but if this had maybe a little bit of cloud definition, and then you could lift the shadows, the darker parts of the image just a little bit to bring that reflection out, maybe you could have made a better use. But this is just tough conditions, and I like that you've tried to frame or that you have framed the reflection, center composition, framed it really well. But yeah, maybe just trying to retain something in the skies, and then getting sort of some more depth of field and a slower shutter speed. Might have got a little bit sort of more pop and color in the image. That's
the other thing that I would add to this one, Jay, is that, you know, if this are the conditions you've shot and the settings you've shot, and you get home and you realize, I could have done this, I could have done that, but you still want to do something with this image, I would leave the sky blown out the way it is, and I would flip this to a black and white image and go for a heavy contrast. And really lean into that. You've got this, you know, this stark white background of the sky, make everything else stand out in contrast to it. So but it is tough lighting. It's, you know, it's always
completely.
You could make this a vertical crop. You could make it square.
Some great advice from Lisa, playing around with just framing the reflection itself and trying to do something with that. So just really working with the reflection, the puddles, the tiles, and not worrying too much whether you have the statue in it as a secondary angle. Tell the story a little bit. There's lots of things.
And me, what a wonderful thing to play with. Like reflections at a place like that is just gorgeous.
Amazing though. Amazing.
Great work. Thanks for sending them in. And onward we march towards the end of this.
Almost there.
Long
We're
show.
almost there.
2 hours and 25 minutes in.
It's nothing. Up next, we've got David Skinner.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Whoops. Hold on. Coming back. Oh, no. I can't. Apparently, I can't use my computer. I'm not sure.
Here is my image to share. Taken this afternoon. Nikon Z7 Mark II, Tamron 70-300. Looking at finding natural light for Matt Crummon's challenge this month. Cheers, everybody. David S.
Matt's got a challenge this month? He didn't tell me.
Oh, he's all over the place, that man.
Natural light challenge. Well, that is some natural light. Look at that beautiful green just streaking through the image.
Yeah, I love it.
70-200. Yeah, it must be.
I love the crop too.
Yeah. I've just last weekend I had I've been for 2 years I've been working on a project shooting video with a classical composition, and it was projected in a theater last weekend with a 4K laser projector. And the video, it was the first time I've ever created a scope, this is 3:1, but like a wide, because it was being shot, it was screened in a movie theater. Oh my gosh, it was so remarkable how gorgeous it was. Making stuff like that and going hard on these crops, it makes them cinematic. Like it just it's so gorgeous, and especially when you have those long lines going there, accentuating them that way is gorgeous.
Makes me want a GFX.
Everything makes you want a GFX.
Greg Carrick says, "Were you on the only hill in the area?" That's funny. Yeah, beautiful shot. Love using the green fields to frame the trees. You often see trees in the sky above the horizon. It's nice to see them framed by the beautiful green. Awesome. And Phil Thompson says, "Goodness, boys, it's a late show. I can hear the 10 p.m. good train coming through the Warren Pond station." And on that note, we're drawing to a close. We have 2 images left?
2 to go.
2 to go. All right.
Next up is Rodney Nicholson. Dan, you take this one away.
Yeah. Hi, Justin. I love the contrasting light in this. It's got a wonderful color palette. It's got moody clouds. In fact, I was drawn to this location because of the clouds. I know the place well, many wedding, fashion, and just composition shoots here over the years. Corio Bay, Geelong, wonderful architecture shot on my phone. I didn't have my Pentax in the car. 1/1000th of a second f2. I apologize if I read that funny. The punctuation seems to have gone. Look at that sky.
I love that Rodney will just, no matter what, a lot of us will, I say us, I just mean me, will not take a photo because we didn't bring our big camera, our main camera. You know, like sometimes you're like, oh, you know, wish I had the camera, but you don't. Whereas Rodney will go, I got my phone. I'm going to go and find the angle I want and take the photo.
Yep. And here's a perfect example of how that can work, right? Like that is super wide. That must be like on the widely, obviously.
Yeah, it's got to be on a wide, for sure.
Yeah.
And then cropped. Yeah. And I find myself looking at the dark grey, what are they, pavers, and being like, why are those ones there? You know, like, what is there a pattern? Why are they there? Did they have to get replaced once and they ordered the wrong grey?
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, awesome work. Oh, whoops, hang on. Okay, we better. Gosh.
Wow.
We're
All right,
on the
lucky
Rick
last.
Let's go.
Nelson. Well done, Rodney. Hey, Justin, Greg, and Dennis. This was last night looking from Mount Gravatt at the sunset in the distance. A last-minute sunset watching time with my wife. Shot with the Lumix S5 Mark II and the Signal 100 to 400, 1/160th of a second, f6.1, ISO 1250 at 252 millimeters. Thanks for the show. Look forward each week to this. Look at those layers. Color.
I love layers. I'm a sucker for layers and orange skies and stuff. I'm just like, that's the stuff. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. Just makes you want to rack out your lens to its maximum and just get all the layers.
I'm going to be a complete dick. It needs to be. It's not straight.
Oh, yeah. Is that tower? Is that based on the tower? Is that what drew you to?
Based on my brain.
I know, but there's a lot of. There's a lot of lines. I was interested as to what the thing that drew you to. Okay, it's definitely not straight.
Well, first of all, it was the clouds, but the tower. So it needs to be straightened. But right. What a gorgeous thing. Layer. You're right. Like there's so many layers there. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you know the most beautiful thing about this photo, Rick?
What's that?
You were there with your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the most beautiful part of this whole photograph. Yep. She was there with you. What a lucky man. Although I suspect that there's no luck involved with that.
and Rick's also shooting on a Lumix, which means he's using lenses that are in the L-mount alliance that would work nicely on my SL3. Should I buy one?
Well, I think
so that's nice too.
Yeah. Rick could maybe get himself an SL3. That your wife would clearly be happy with that.
Reporter edition.
Rick says, yes, slightly off straight. It was a great time.
And that's all that matters. Ignore me.
That's all that matters. Exactly. But yeah, beautiful colors. Love the framing. Great work. What a shot to finish the show on.
Yeah.
The pink hue is magical.
Yeah, it is magical. That's so true. It takes patience, right, to wait for that light.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or luck to be there in the moment and say, hold
Nick
on.
Fletcher, Nick just turning up. Now, Nick bloody Fletcher, he's just come back from Monaco. I was seeing, there's videos going on his phone of him partying on the back of super yachts, literally looking over the track. So either he threw his phone to someone on the boat and said, "Hey, can you make a video for me?" I've been getting very envious over that man. And
well, maybe we need to try and drag him back onto the podcast so we can hear some stories of travels. Hopefully, I wonder if he took his GFX 100 RF onto the yacht and took a really nice shot. I wonder if he's got any photo. Hang on. Oh, Nick, we don't have we haven't got time for this. Nick, are you there? Can you hear us? Oh, hold on. We're getting glitchy. Hang on. Can you hear me?
I can hear.
Oh no, this isn't playing ball. This isn't playing ball. Hang on. We've got nothing. We can't. Well, I'm trying my best. We're two hours and 33 minutes into the show.
Every time, so good.
Are you there?
Never. Yeah, I'm here.
What's going on?
Well, first of all, I don't know who Dennis is following on Instagram, but I've been in Vienna. I've been nowhere near Monaco.
What?
It's yeah. It's
Was that not
the other.
Hang
No,
on.
there are genuinely two Nick Fletcher photographers. There's the Sydney guy who does surf photography and occasionally a bit of motorsport, and then there's me.
Were you on a super yacht at some point?
Not in Monaco in the last couple of weeks. No.
Okay, that's an interesting answer. We'll have to find out when you were on a super yacht one day.
Well, I'll tell you what. This
I
Nick
genuinely
Fletcher-
have the best Jeremy Clarkson super yacht story ever told, but it can't be told. It can't be told on a public podcast. So catch me at the bar sometime, and I'll tell you my story.
Perfect. And I'll record it and put it on the internet.
Is that not you?
Nick Fletcher photo.
Oh, that's hilarious.
No,
I have been sending him some wild messages, man. I'm like, dude, get your kid off. I want to get your kid off and get it into one of those supermodels. Send me a photo. Oh, man.
Oh, that's hilarious.
he and I very, very regularly exchange messages because he'll get called for jobs I should be doing, and I'll get called for jobs he should be doing.
Oh, that is funny. Dennis has been sending you messages like, mate, can't wait for BFOP this year. It's going to be great.
Actually, I'm just looking at his profile. He's an actual photographer. I don't know why. I should have figured that out in about 2 seconds.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, love you like a brother, Dennis.
I'm going to be sleeping in the forest this year.
You will.
Oh, my gosh.
If you're lucky.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
dear. We'll have to get you on the show soon, Nick.
Yeah, we need to get you back on here when you've finished traveling the world.
No, I'm back for literally days, so anytime you like.
Okay.
All right.
We'll be in
Perfect.
touch. We'll be in
Yes.
touch.
All right. What a what a way to end the show. Anything you want to say, Nick, before we cap this bad boy off? You called in. You got any thoughts?
No, I mean, just generally to fact check Dennis, who's been taking mushrooms again and following weird people on the internet.
Spreading rumors. Everyone's going to think Nick is a super yacht wielding douchebag.
Yeah.
But the other Nick Fletcher.
The other one. We should interview him on the podcast. The other Nick
We should
Fletcher.
get him on.
We'll get him
the
on.
Nick Fletcher. I actually haven't even checked whether it is the Sydney guy. I assume it is, but who knows?
There could be another one.
Oh, God.
It could
Cloning
be
them.
us, yeah.
Man, imagine.
Well, do you know there's more than one BFOP?
No.
No.
There is. There's a bar festival of photography.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Gosh.
you're an egg.
Yeah. You've got
See
bad
ya.
luck. See you, Nick. Thanks
Yeah,
for
mate.
going.
Nice, good chat.
All right. Should we roll the music before all of our listeners never come back for another show because they're too long?
That was
But just very
That
quickly,
was funny.
on behalf of everybody in the chat and obviously us here at the Camera Life, thank you so much, Dennis, for joining us tonight.
Yeah. Thanks,
Having-
Dennis. That was
I feel-
mega.
I feel
Nice.
lucky.
Nice camera
Well, you
strap.
should feel lucky.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
thank
really
you very
nice.
much.
But yeah, we look forward to seeing more of your endeavors and more of your wild adventures.
Thank
of
you
course,
guys.
we'll see you at
Thank you
BFOP.
guys for having me on. It always, it's such a joyous part of my life at the moment. This community that you/we have formed, and I always feel humbled to be on this side of the camera. So thank you. It's some incredible work you do, and along with a lot of people in that chat, are very grateful for the energy you bring. So thank you.
Thanks,
Well,
mate.
thank you. Thank you. We love it every
Thanks
time you
all
come
around.
on.
Indeed.
And with
Indeed.
that, Nev Clark says, the motto is buy a GFX or go home.
I like this fella.
Gareth Davies says, thanks, guys. David Skinner says 99. Phil Thompson's. Thanks so much, Justin, Dennis, and Greg. Another great show. An interesting discussion about going small. Makes me think for my New Year's and my New Zealand and Tassie trips. Yeah. Bruce Moyle, awesome show as always. Nice to see you, Dennis, mate. Well done, everyone, on the images. Thanks, Brucey, and thanks for calling in to give us your thoughts.
Yeah, that was great.
Greg
I'm going to
Carrick,
send him a mat box. I'm going to send him a mat box.
a mad box. Greg Carrick says, hip show, groovers. Keep on trucking.
Thanks,
Lisa
crackers.
Leach, thanks for having you here. Jason, David Skinner, who was here. Parabellum Collectibles, thanks for sending in. It's always awesome to see new people in the photos. Rick Nelson said the wife said no more cameras for a while. Oh man.
Oh,
Philip
busted.
Johnson, thanks. Nev, everybody, Tweak, good to see you all. Rodney Nicholson, you're all awesome. Nick Fletcher, you were late, and we'll see you